What is going on? Welcome to another Saturday. Welcome to another episode, another edition of Nimmin Live, the #1 place on the internet for you to learn about YouTube, network with other content creators, and have an awesome time doing it. My name is Nick, and today I'm going to be answering your YouTube questions. So how this works is I have a form down in the description of this video, and all you have to do, this is completely free. All you have to do is put your question that is in the form that is down in the description below this video. Now, just as a heads up for everybody that's watching this, everybody that's going to be hanging out here in the stream, I do want to let you know as well that this stream is brought to you by TubeBuddy, the #1 browser plugin for YouTube content creators. It'll help you come up with video ideas, help you optimize your videos for search. It'll help you do bulk updates across your entire channel if there's things you need to add or take out of your description. It'll even help you test your thumbnails if you get one of the higher packages so that you can make sure that the thumbnails that you are putting out there are effective for getting people to click and come in and watch your video, because as we all know, that's like the, one of the most important parts of this whole thing. So make sure that you check out TubeBuddy. You can check it out for free, just so you can see what's all involved with TubeBuddy. If you go to tubebuddy.com/Nimmin, but you're of course, as a YouTuber, you're going to want to upgrade. So a couple things that I just want to let you know if you are just joining us is, again, this stream is basically constructed around the questions that you have and the things that you want to know. So because of that, if you have a question specifically about what it is that you're doing on YouTube, then make sure you put it in the form down in the description below so that you can check it out. I also want to let you know, as a content creator, there's a bunch of other stuff down there for you as well. So make sure while you're down there looking for that form that you also look in the description and you check out, I've got a bunch of links there going to a bunch of different things that are helpful for YouTubers. The free YouTube Creator Academy, the opt-in for the course that I'm going to be launching here within the next week into beta. We've got links to sponsor stuff down there for video editing apps and Place It and things like that. We can get YouTube graphics, my website, Tuber tools, all kinds of just awesome stuff down there for YouTube content creators. So make sure that you check it out when you get the chance. Dapper Tiger, what is up? Nice to see you here hanging out in the chat. Intermana, nice to see you here as well. She's giving a big good morning to the Nimminati fam. Nice to see you here. Robertino Makulu from Zambia, what's up? Nice to see you here. Joe Sam saying, hey, Nick, I love your content. Thank you. Thank you for watching. I'm glad that you are finding some value in the content. Albert Tech says, hey, Nick, what's up, Albert Tech? Nice to see you here as well. So again, if you're just joining us, we're going to be answering your YouTube questions. What's up, Tinkerman Mick? Nice to see you here as well. We're going to be answering your YouTube questions. So make sure, if you haven't yet, that you put your question down in the form below this video. Okay, so our very first question that we are going to jump into is from Walt Disney World and Sea Parks with Barry. Now, Walt Disney World and Sea Parks with Barry has been on YouTube for a year or more. They upload one time per week, and the type of channel is a theme park vlogger, and the goal of the channel is to have fun and inform people about parks. Pretty easy. Sounds like it's a good, it's a good, easy thing to do. Fun thing to do, I should say. And the question is, people talk a lot about DSLRs and mirrorless and point and shoot cameras, but what's your opinion on camcorders? I recently bought a Canon Vixa HF-R80, which is a slight upgrade from my previous camera, a Sony Handycam. Thanks. So in my opinion, whatever camera it is that's going to help you get your job done in an efficient way, that's the one that you should be using. So for example, people typically talk about the DSLRs and stuff because you can make them, you can make the scenery look cool. So if you're using a DSLR, you can swap lenses out and you can adjust the depth of field and things like that to get that nice blurry background to where it's a little bit more difficult on a camcorder. As an example, when I first started my channel, it was actually on an XF100, which we use in the live streaming studio now, but the content that I first started making on my channel was actually from a dedicated video camera. It's a Canon XF100, but I just couldn't, no matter what I did, because I didn't know a lot about cameras at the time, no matter what I did, I couldn't get that blurry background that I really liked on YouTube. So I'm like, okay, what I got to do? So I started looking around for how to get the blurry background, and I figured out that, hey, in order to get that blurry background, I need to get a DSLR with like a lens on it. The technology is a little bit different today, so you might be able to do it with the dedicated video camera also, but I was like, hey, I'm going to get a Canon 70D at the time, so that I can have that lens on there and I can get that blurry background. And as soon as I did and I started using that, I was like, oh gosh, I just love how this looks. And I started being like happy with how everything looked in my videos. So in terms of just had to mention something to my girlfriend there, but idea with a DSLR is it really just comes down to being able to adjust everything and fine tune the settings, and also being able to change the lens and, you know, things like that. So next question that we have here on our list today at the moment is from Kids Who Do Stuff. Kids Who Do Stuff, they upload 1 time per week or more. They've been on YouTube for less than 6 months. And the type of channel, it's an all-around channel. We do lots of things. That's what they say here. And the goal of the channel is to reach the point of monetization and become better at things. The channel documents fun things. The question is, what is the easiest way to market our channel? SEO has not worked that well because larger channels in our niche. Please help. So just as a heads up, you don't have to have a large channel in order to get your videos to show up in search. You just have to have a video that is competitive in terms of people clicking on it and enjoying that video or watching it for a fair amount of time. So just because you have a smaller channel doesn't mean that you can't rank your videos in search. You might just be targeting things that are just extremely competitive. So in order to get around that, what you would do is you would actually look for things, and you'd use TubeBuddy for this. What you would do is you would actually look for things to where you'd look for topics or ways to frame your video title or your packaging, so to speak, where you would be going after search phrases that are not as competitive. Now, the unfortunate side of that is if you go after things that are not as competitive, there's not as much traffic there. However, if you have a nice handful of videos out that are owning all of these different low volume search results, then what you do is you create all of these traffic sources that are bringing you a handful of views per day, which of course scaled out over, you know, a nice amount of content will lead to a bunch of views per day. So that's why having search as part of your content strategy, depending on the type of content you make, is really important. And having a small channel has nothing to do with it at all. I actually have another channel for my website. It's called Tuber Tools. That's the name of the YouTube channel. We have a 24-hour live stream going over there. It's a 24-hour stream for music. I've got a link to that in the description too. But it's music and video ideas is the stream. But on that particular channel, I made a video where I think I had maybe 3 videos on the channel at the time. And the videos that are on the channel, they're just tutorial things to help people navigate some things within the products that we sell on the website. And I made a video about how to do a 24-hour live stream. And I put it up there. I was like, hey, you know, a lot of people are, you know, wanting to know about this, so I'll just put it up there. And that video, you know, with 4 videos on the channel at the time, that video ended up being, you know, suggested on Google in like one of the #1 spots, or it was between 1 and 3, and getting recommended a lot on YouTube in the top spots for that term for a long time as well, just because it was, you know, an effective video. People clicked on it, they watched it, and they, you know, further engaged and things like that. So you don't have to have a large channel in order to leverage YouTube search to your advantage. So I saw some super chats come in, so I want to address these really quick. HuzTube says, love your channel. You are the best. Thank you. Thank you for watching the content. I appreciate the kind words. Chad B says, hey, Nick, began uploading vids in October 2019 and just reached the 1,000 milestone this week thanks to your channel along with Dee and Brian G. High five, fist bump to you for crossing that 1,000 subscriber milestone. That's a big one. Hopefully you went to TubeBuddy. If you go to tubebuddy.com/milestones, then you can actually download an actual, like, you know, thing that you can print out and all that stuff if you wanted to. But that 1,000 mark, that's a big one, right? Because you have like 100, and then after that first 100, it's like, okay, now, you know, maybe 500 because I'm halfway to 1,000. But then when you hit that 1,000, it's like, yes, got that first 1,000 down. So yeah, man, high five, fist bump to you for crossing that milestone, Chad. Well done, man. It's tough. Not a lot of people get that many subscribers on their YouTube channel. Pat Wallace says 998 and counting. Thanks for all the tips and tricks. So Pat's getting ready to crush it too, getting ready to cross 1,000 subscribers. So high five and fist bump to you there, Pat Wallace. Love seeing those wins come in. Those are always a bonus. Miriam DMs. Hey, nice to see you. Thanks for swinging by the chat. Ed Clark, what's going on? Susie Valentine Realtor, what is going on? Saying good job to Pat. Doug Hewson, what's up, dude? Nice to see you in here. Saying, hey, reminder for last week's late super chat. Hey, man, thank you for that. And I will actually pull that up right now, as a matter of fact. Got to make sure we get all those taken care of. All right, let me see if I can go in here to the settings. And go into the supers. And then the one from last week, I guess, is, see here, Typical Teddy. Typical Teddy And I think, yeah, this was the 23rd, says, what do I improve? My watch percent is lower when my audience are kids. 10-minute videos get 25%. Is that enough to get recommended? CTR 10% watch. This is like a messy question here. Like they're abbreviating everything. So here, hold on. Is my watch lower when my audience are kids? No, kids actually, can watch your videos for a long period of time. So it's not just because they're kids. It's because whatever kids are watching your content, they're just not interested enough to keep watching it for a long period of time. Let's see here. 10-minute videos get 25%. Is that enough to get recommended? It can be if your click-through rate is really, really high, because the thing is what they're looking at is they're looking at how much watch time they get per impression. So if every time every time they show your thumbnail to somebody, not every time, but a majority of the time when they show your thumbnail to people, if they're clicking on it, but then they're watching 25% of your video, then in that situation, they're still getting, 2.5 minutes worth of watch time from that video for every time that your thumbnail is shown. So as long as people are further engaging, they're liking it or anything like that, then you should be okay. But you still have to, you still have to have that good package with the high click-through rate in that situation. But you're still getting 2.5 minutes of watch time in that situation. So, I mean, it's okay. But you want to improve it without question. And if you can't improve it, then just make videos that are like, 5 minutes instead. Gunmuse says, ranking number 1 on YouTube search, but not Google suggested videos. Is there a different focus? It's not that it's a different focus. It's just that basically Google works similar to YouTube, to where if people are finding your video there and they're clicking on it, really that one's just based more on click than anything. But if they're clicking on it there, then they'll keep showing it to people as well. And it's not that it's a different focus, so to speak. It's just that if you can get really good at ranking videos in YouTube, then there's just a natural crossover that happens into the search engines as well. Now, one thing that can help you with the other search engines is filling out your description more, because a lot of people will just do like a line or 2 lines of their description. But if you actually fill out your description, and your description has a lot of text in it that's relevant to the video that you made, what you're doing there is you're giving the other search engines the information that they need to be able to have an understanding of what that video is about as well. So when you're trying to target, YouTube search and Google search and Bing and Yahoo and, all of those, then in that situation, that's when you want to make sure that you're like filling out your descriptions and things like that, so that you're giving those assets more context into what your video is about. Okay, so next question that we have here on the list is from Chunky Reviews. Chunky Reviews says that they upload 1 time per week or more. They've been on YouTube for less than a month. They say they have a gaming channel. How many people here have gaming channels? Give me a hashtag gamer if you are a gamer. I'm just curious. I always like to ask that because I know there's tons of gamers on YouTube. So I just want to know if you are, one of them. All right, so we got a Vanner. Hey, that counts, Neil. A lot of gamers. Look at that. Yeah, for all you gamers. So my girlfriend and I have been playing Fortnite a lot and really getting into it. We're actually getting pretty good. I just reached like a score of 80. I think she's like 87. She's better than me. But she's like an 87, I think, on hers. But, getting there. Yeah, nice. A lot of gamers in here. Love it. Okay, so next up on our list. Oh, no, I got to answer this question here really quick. Okay, so the question is, I have really bad PC, and I would like to do more gaming videos, but most of the games that I'd like to play can't run. So I have no idea what to do. Please give any tips that I should do to keep my channel fresh, or what I should do with a channel like mine. So if you're a gamer and you have a PC and your PC isn't strong enough to, run the games that you're wanting to play because they're popular or something like that, try this. Try doing it on your phone. Try basically just importing your footage in, not your footage, but you can record the game right on your phone too. But you could also plug it into your computer, and you could actually stream directly, what it is that's happening on your phone. A friend of mine actually does that. He plays the League of Champions or something like that, I think it's called. It's the Marvel one. And basically he just routes it into his computer, or he'll just screen record if he puts up a recorded video. But when he's live, he'll just route it through his computer and play that way. Oscar Beats says, hey, Nick, any tips for making your thumbnails unique for tight beat videos? Seems like all the videos have the same generic titles and thumbnails. That's a tough one, man. And the reason that I say that it's tough is because, just like you're saying, you know, like a lot of them will have like the logo of the beat channel, and then maybe they'll have like the circle thing, or, you know, something like that. Or they'll have like the artist, and it'll be like a, you know, it'll be like a picture of the artist, and it'll be like a, you know, such and such type beat. In that situation, I would try to come up with like a design style that would make yours stand out. So even though that they are that they're all similar in the space, I would look at that and I would think, okay, if all the videos that are getting a response have a look that looks something like this, or they incorporate these particular elements into it, then what I need to do is I need to make sure that I'm being mindful of that, because if that's how people are identifying that type of content, then I need to make sure that it's easy to identify that that's the type of content that I have, but I need to come up with something that'll make mine stand out. So things that you can do, you can get really creative with your colors. If you're not, if you don't have any design background or anything like that, you can use a website called Coolors, COOLERS, or COOLORS, I think is what it is. And that one will actually just kick up a bunch of unique color schemes for you. Adobe has one called Crueler as well. With that particular one, then you can actually use the color wheels and put it all together. But with the Cooler, the thing about that one is that you basically just put in the base color that you're wanting to work around, and then it basically just gives you a bunch of additional colors. So you can just sit there and just keep refreshing, and it will just keep showing you different schemes until you find something that you like. But I would find like a specific color scheme that you want to stick with, and try to go with at least one element that's vibrant, so that it'll help you kind of grab attention from some of the other ones. So what I would do if I was in your situation and I was making that type of content is I would put together a grid in like Photoshop or Photopea or something like that. I'd put together like a grid of all of my competitors and all of the thumbnails that perform for them. And I would say, okay, this is what they're doing with theirs. Now I'm going to sit over here and I'm going to work on this one. I would do it in a smart object if it was in Photoshop, but I would work on this one, and I would just keep messing with it until I got something that stood out. It's what I did with mine. That's what I did with my thumbnails on my channel that you watch now, is I did that same exact thing, to where I'm like, okay, everybody's doing this type of thing. What can I do to stand out? And since I have a design background, I went through like 100 different thumbnail designs in order to get the one that I found that I'm like, okay, this is the one that I'm going to roll with. In terms of like the block behind the words, and, you know, high angle everything and all of that stuff, just because compared to everything that was online at the time, it really stood out. So that was one of the things that I did as well, and I recommend that you do the same. But other things that you can do is, if they're using like a picture, then you could use that picture, but put some type of like filter on that picture to help it stand out. Or if everybody's using like dark colors and everything's just kind of like dark and moody, just go complete opposite, like invert everything it is that they're doing, for the sake of literally standing out when, you know, they see an entire page. Since yours is the different one, then their eyes, you know, might go to yours as well. So that's what I would do if I was in your situation.
Welcome to the Nimminati.
Haji Alcantara, welcome to the channel membership.
Welcome to the Nimminati.
And Consult a Blind Guy, welcome to the channel membership as well. For both of you, make sure that when you are, see, I've got the channel membership thing there. Yeah, make sure next time that you are on Facebook that you look for the Nimminati VIP Facebook group, because that's a members only Facebook group. So make sure that you join that, fill out all the questions on the way in so that I can verify that you're a member. Also, make sure that you check the community feed here. And just as a heads up, I'm going to be live streaming this coming week over there. So make sure that you join that Facebook group before, I think I'm going to live stream either on Wednesday or Thursday. So make sure that you join that Facebook group before Wednesday or Thursday so that you can participate in the live stream over there as well. All right. Next question that we have here on the list is, did I answer this one? Really bad PC? Yes, I did. Okay, next question that we have on the list is from Offshot Gaming. Offshot Gaming says they've been on YouTube for less than 6 months. Cool. Welcome to YouTube. They have a gaming channel. The goal is to be famous and live a YouTuber life. Let me tell you something. That YouTuber life that you see being portrayed in videos, there's a lot more to it than what it is that you see being portrayed in videos. So one thing that a lot of people don't know when it comes to, you know, YouTubers of all different sizes is there's a serious grind going on in the background, because it's not necessarily just making videos and uploading them to YouTube. There's also if you start, getting some real traction, there's also having other people that help you with things that you're going to be in communication with. That's going to take time. There are, sponsorships, things that you're going to have to be dealing with. There's a lot of time-consuming stuff that you're going to be dealing with as well. So just as a heads up on that, but that's cool. Like, embrace that. I mean, it's awesome. I'm not saying that it's bad in any way, shape, or form. I'm just saying that just so you know, it's not just like, hanging out and not doing much except for like the day that you make videos, right? So the question is, how much time/years does it take to be monetized as a gaming channel? Some people will do it extremely quickly. Some people, it might take years. So if you put a really good strategy together and you dedicate yourself to being consistent and making really good content and paying attention, and this is the important part, paying attention to what's going on your YouTube channel so that you can make sure that you're making the right decisions when it comes to the content that you're putting out, that your audience or the people that YouTube is showing your content to will respond to. If you can do that and you just become like, as a gamer, for all the people that said they were gamers, if you look at YouTube and you approach YouTube like it's one of the games that you play, then you'll just crush it here. Because what you do in a game is you basically figure out over time, just like my girlfriend and I are doing with Fortnite, is you figure out over time, you're like, okay, well, when we drop in here, if we are coming straight down and we happen to be over a house, then in that situation, or we happen to be over an elevated piece of land, then in that situation, our parachutes are going to open slower. So if we're trying to get into an area before other people get into that area that just jumped out of the bus at the same time we did, then we're going to go down close to the water. And then like right before our parachute's getting ready to open, we're going to go a little bit closer to the land that way. So when it pops open, if we're going by something that's coastal, like the places with the red roofs on them over by the robot island thing. But basically, like, we come in hard there at the water level. So then as soon as the parachute opens, then we shoot over into the red houses so we can get in before other people, right? So it's just little things like that you figure out when you're playing games. Same exact thing applies to YouTube. Is you start looking at your numbers and you start going like, okay, when I publish videos like this, people respond to them. They typically watch these for a longer period of time. When I make thumbnails that look like this, they typically respond to these more. When I use these colors, they respond to them more. And you start just gamifying what it is that you're doing on YouTube. If you can take that approach as a gamer, I guarantee you that the results that you're getting on YouTube will start to accelerate, because you'll be playing the YouTube game as a gamer, and you'll be applying all the same strategy stuff and all the different problem solving and all that stuff that you do as a gamer. You'll be applying that to your YouTube channel, which will help you do better on YouTube. So as a gamer, really recommend that you take that approach. Let's see here. Moments on Mobile by Paul Padua. Hope I'm saying that right. Padua says, hey, Nick, should I focus on creating content for the audience in my country rather than target audience from other countries? So if you are talking about like you speak a certain language and you're trying to target different places, I think that, yes, you should target your home country first. And the reason for that is because there's tons of opportunities in the places that are coming up. Like, for example, Thailand here, because I'm in Thailand. And, the opportunity that people have here, because the competition isn't as fierce, right? Everybody is trying to get into the English speaking market. And because of that, including English speakers. So because of that, it's a hard market to penetrate. But some of these other markets that aren't as competitive to where you could just dominate your local market, you have tons of advantages of doing that. So I would get a really good strong channel in your local market first. Use that as like your learning ground, because it'll be easier to get a strong grasp of what's working, because all the feedback you're getting is in your language. You're going to understand all the nuance of what people are telling you about your content and things like that. So I would do it in your native language first, get that channel going, and then consider moving into the English market with a separate channel by taking all the things that you've learned and then applying them to the English language channel. Because once you do it once, and once you figure out the system in terms of like, okay, this is how you get the ball rolling, then all you have to do is you take that same concept and you can apply it to the other language as well. Stanley Orchard in the house. What's up? Nice to see you here. Hope that you're doing awesome, my man. Okay, next up here on the list, we've got Chris Gee Reacts. Chris Gee Reacts says, I'm trying to grow my YouTube channel and also trying to entertain by creating the most awesome reaction videos. The question is, I've noticed recently that whenever I'm watching another YouTube video, that one of my videos will show up in the suggested. Most of the time, it's my newest upload, even though it's definitely not related. For example, I'll be watching a marching band video and my reaction to Lady Gaga's new album shows up in suggested. Does it hurt my video in general if I don't click on my own in the suggested? Should I even watch my own video if it pops up in suggested? Okay, So Chris, here's the thing, man, is when it comes to the nuance of that sort of thing, don't even worry about it, right? Like basically what's happening is because you're interacting in your channel a lot also. So because of that, YouTube will show your stuff to you. That one click that you might do, YouTube already knows it's you anyway. So you're fine, right? Don't even worry about it. In terms of other people, the same thing happens to them though. And that's where, you know, the amount of impressions you get and things like that come into where if your video starts getting shown to people that have interacted with your channel recently, then in that situation, you want them to click. But in terms of you, it's not that big of a deal. And this is why, just for everybody in the chat right now, for regardless of the type of content that you make, if you don't listen to anything else that I say, listen to what I'm getting ready to say. So one of the things that'll help give you a huge advantage as a content creator is think of that scenario, right? Like if people are watching your videos and they're interacting with your content, they're subscribing to your channel or not, even if people just watch your video for a fair amount of time to where YouTube deems their viewing experience as satisfactory with your content, let's say they liked it or they gave a comment, or let's say they watched 2 videos back to back, then what's going to happen is YouTube is going to, their interaction with your content just massively increased your ability for YouTube, not your ability, but for YouTube, the chances of YouTube showing your next video to that person. So because of that, it's super important to make sure that when you are publishing the video that you're making today, the video that you make tomorrow, or that the video that you publish next, make sure that that video is going to be a good fit for those people that are interacting in your content now. Because if it's a good fit, and this is why niching down is so important on YouTube, if that content is a good fit for that person, then they are going to be more likely to click on it and come back to your channel, which is going to help the click-through rate of that video, which is going to help that video perform better overall because the people that YouTube is showing it to are responding to it, which is helping YouTube collect the data to know who the right people is to show that content to in the first place. So because of that, when you think the last video that I put out, the video that I'm putting out today, what's the likelihood that the person that watched that last video would also enjoy this video, right? Because what you want to do over time is you want to turn your channel into a resource for a certain type of content for a certain type of person that likes to watch that certain type of content. So that any video that gets suggested to them from your current library, from the library that you're getting ready to publish over the next 3 months, and for all of the videos that you have in your back library, it doesn't matter which one YouTube shows to them, it's going to be relevant to them in some way, shape, or form, or really close, right? So an example here is like if you look at my YouTube channel, right? You see that if you're a content creator, it doesn't matter what video gets served to you on my YouTube channel, it's going to be relevant to you. Now, in terms of if it's going to be hyper relevant, so like for example, if you're not a mobile content creator, then in that situation, then you might not care about the mobile videos that I do when I, like my video editing videos and things like that for mobile, because that's not what you're doing. But if you do happen to see that video, you might still click it because you're still a content creator and you might have to, from time to time, make videos on the go. Same exact thing goes for any of the live streaming content that I put out. Everybody here is interested in growing their YouTube channel, but not everybody here is interested in live streaming. So what I've done is I say, okay, I'm targeting content creators for YouTube and I'm teaching them how to do all of this stuff related to YouTube. That includes making and editing videos on their phone, on their computer, all of that stuff. It also means live streaming because live streaming is a part of YouTube. It also means, YouTube growth advice as well. It also means some mindset stuff because, being a content creator is hard. There's a lot of stuff that goes on up here that you got to make sure that you're managing. So because of that, I have these like 4 pillars of content, and with these 4 pillars, almost everything will cross over in one way or another. And if it's not now, then it might be, 3 months down the road when you do decide to start live streaming, or when you do decide, hey, wow, I'm going on vacation and I can actually do all this stuff on my phone, right? So because of that, when you start making your channel in a way that is, okay, Doug, got it. Thank you. I'll refresh the page. But when you start putting your content out in a way to where you're thinking, hey, these people that are watching each one of these videos, how can I tie all this stuff together for this one group of people that is just like these people that are watching this video now, so that I can add value to them in whatever way it is that you add value with your content. But if you can start thinking, how can this video apply to this video? And if somebody is watching this video because they're interested in fishing, then it wouldn't make much sense for me to put out a video here where I'm talking about soccer or American football, right? So, or either one, right? Where you're talking about football from the like NFL football, or you're talking football which the American version of that soccer. But like, you know, you just want to make sure that you're in alignment with the type of content that people are serving from you or getting from you, so that you can make sure that you're always delivering. And maybe they didn't click on that last video, but maybe the one after that they will click on, because again, they've been involved with your channel recently. Homegrown USA, thank you for the super chat.
Super chat.
Saying, you helped me so much, almost 14,000, 1 year anniversary. Thank you. High five and fist bump to you. Nice work. Thank you for grinding it out. You know, like this stuff can be tough. You know, it's tough. It can be frustrating at times. It can be extremely rewarding at times. It can also be kind of like, man, I just keep doing the same thing over and over type of thing. But you push through all of that, and you still keep grinding, and you still make it happen where people are coming in, they're subscribing to your channel, they're obviously getting value from what it is that you're doing, which has generated 14,000 subscribers from you in your first year. So high five, fist bump, man, that's awesome, just crushing it. So a lot of people on YouTube will never even see 14,000 subscribers, but you're able to pull it off in a year, your first year on YouTube. That's incredible, it really is. It's a fantastic accomplishment. You should high five and fist bump yourself on that one, because that's a really good one. Daughters of Hadessa, nice to see you here in the chat. Okay, so next up on the list here, let me go in here really quick and answer some of these super chats that I missed. So we've got Homegrown, we got that, we got Oscar. Okay, so Mr. Man in Action dropped a super chat, said, should you keep uploading after you make a big video? Yeah, give that video a little bit of room to breathe, and then upload again. If you're doing daily content, you have one that pops, ride it out for a few days. Ride it out for a few days and let that wave kind of happen, and then publish a video after that video starts to after that momentum starts to slow down. Then you can go ahead and publish that next video. Mr. ASMR says, I just hit 2,000 subs in just a year. Is that good? It is good. And here's the thing. When it comes to like subscriber numbers, as content creators, like we all have these things in our brain about, you know, like PewDiePie, he's got, you know, millions of subscribers. Casey Neistat, he's got like 10 million subscribers on his YouTube channel, right? And our association with what is like a good number on YouTube is so distorted, it's crazy. Like, in my opinion, I think if you can have 1,000 people come in and watch every video that you upload, that you're just crushing, in my opinion. Like if you can have 1,000 people come in and watch and enjoy every single video that you upload, then you are winning, in my opinion, because that gives you that stage to stand on, that you have 1,000 people that are going to listen or watch whatever it is that you put out there. Like that's huge. Right? That's absolutely huge. And 1,000 people, you know, like when people think like 2,000 subscribers in a year, that's good. Yes, it's good. 10,000 better, 50,000 better, right? There's always better numbers, but 2,000 in a year, that's fine. And with that, another really interesting thing about like subscriber numbers is people will look at a channel that has like 10,000 subscribers on it. And they'll be like, oh, you've only got 10,000 subscribers. It's like, right. But they've also got like, you know, millions of video views in order to get that 10,000 subscribers, which means that person's been in front of like millions of people. Just those people just didn't subscribe to the YouTube channel, right? And the funny thing with that is, even if it was 100 subscribers, because we had in the, it was in Brian G's, no, it was on Twitter. Somebody was celebrating that they just crossed 100 subscribers on their channel. If you just crossed 100 subscribers recently, just give me a hashtag me, just because I'm curious, because I just want to know. But basically when that 100 subscribers is crossed, some people will be like, oh, cool, you got 100 subscribers, but that's, you know, like that's not a lot. But if you took 100 people and you were to cram them in a room with you and they're all just sitting there looking at you, waiting for you to say something, it all of a sudden becomes a lot of people. So keeping perspective with all of this stuff is one of those mindset things that I was talking about here just a little bit ago.
Welcome to the Nimminati.
Shady's Dreams Entertainment, welcome to the channel membership. Make sure that next time you're on Facebook, you look for the Nimminati VIP Facebook group, Nimminati VIP, and make sure you fill out all the stuff on the way in. Also check the community feed here on YouTube, because there's some stuff in there for you as well. And in terms of the Facebook group, make sure that you at least submit to that by like Wednesday, because I'm going to be live streaming in there either Wednesday or Thursday of this coming week. So just as a heads up there. Okay, so that caught us up there. Now I'm going to get back into the questions. And I got to get that form open here. Oops. All right. So was there anybody here that just recently crossed 100? We got 95. We've got Yo, missed it. Okay, so not a lot of people that just recently crossed 100. So it looks like we might have more people in here that crossed 1,000 than crossed 100. Hold on, let me see here. Okay, yeah, we've got some. Oh, okay, there we go. Yeah, we got some. I just scrolled down past them. Okay, good. All right. Okay, so next up on our list, we have the Quantum. The Quantum says they upload daily content. It's Roblox gaming, and the goal of the channel is to entertain people on games. And they say why channels may not be growing. The reason that channels don't grow on YouTube is because you have one of a few things that you need to fix. That comes down to just your overall content strategy in terms of you putting out content that people enjoy, right? Like that's really important, making sure that you're choosing the right topics. Another thing is a discovery problem. And what that comes down to is, hey, Eileen, what's up? Nice to see you here. But what that comes down to is your ability to get people to see your stuff. So, different ways of discovery are one, trying to target YouTube search, two, trying to get really good at writing titles and not just winging it, but actually studying how to write titles and how to write headlines and how to make thumbnails that people click on, that kind of stuff. But basically studying that to the point that you are able to target recommendation features because you get really good at writing titles that a certain demographic of people respond to. And then the other problem is, let's see here, value. So when it comes to value, if your channel's not growing, maybe you're getting views, but people are not subscribing to your channel. That typically means that either people can't see the value that they're getting from that immediate video, or if they explore further after they watch that new video, if they explore further, then they don't see a lot of value in your past library because maybe you're making mixed content or something like that. Or based on your past library, they also don't see much future value coming from you, either based on all of the mixed matched content that somebody might have on a channel or something like that. So really it comes down to those things. If you're having trouble growing your channel, it really comes down to those things. And of course, part of discovery also is getting developing the skill of how do I make a compelling title that gets people to click? How do I make a compelling thumbnail that gets people to click as well? That's part of discovery also. The Land of Dez says, with 35,000 subscribers,
Super Chat.
How do I change my niche completely? So if you are going to be changing your niche completely, you can just go all in. You're going to take a hit probably initially, but that's okay, because if you're completely changing directions and you're not going to be doing that type of content and you're like, hey, I'm going this way, then what you're doing is you're kind of breaking what's happened on your channel. Because if people subscribe to you for this thing and then you take it in a totally different direction, then you're just kind of leaving everybody hanging. So people are going to slowly start not respond to your content when you publish it because they're not interested in it. And if that happens, then one of the things that's going to be a unfortunate side effect is the people that YouTube is initially going to be showing your content to when you first publish a video, they're not going to respond to it that much. And because of that, it's going to end up hurting you. They might respond to it at first, but that's going to end up tapering off when they start realizing like, hey, this person's not doing the same thing. Now this is all the content they're making. I'm not interested. I'm unsubscribing, right? Now, the caveat to this, or the exception to this, is if you are the type of channel, and these are rare, but they are definitely all over YouTube. If you're the type of channel to where people just love you and they love the content that you're making, and I see here in your profile picture that it's a couple. So if they just love watching you as a couple and they don't care about the topics that you cover, they just love watching you because for whatever reason, your personality or maybe the dynamic between you two as a couple, maybe that's what it is that they come to you for and that they enjoy out of your content. In that situation, if you end up switching, then you'll be able to take a lot of those people with you if they're coming in for your personality. So you'll know quickly once you start putting that new content out there. So technically there's like strategic ways that you can do it to where you're like, hey, I'm going to put out a video of the old stuff, a video of the new stuff, video of the old stuff, video of the new stuff. And then you start developing this new audience with the new stuff so that the old people are still responding to some of your stuff. You're growing the new audience with some of that new content that you're putting out, and they're kind of helping support each other. And then once you get it to a certain point to where the response that you're getting from the new type of content that you're putting out there, once that starts, performing at an acceptable level for you, then you just go all in on that. There's that approach as well. But really, I mean, if it was me, I would just, left turn, Clyde. I would just go for it and just kind of ride it out that way. But keep in mind, If you have 35,000 subscribers on your channel, that means that you've probably had a nice handful of videos that have done really well on your channel. And there's probably a really good chance as well that those are still bringing people into your YouTube channel. So one of the other things that you got to make sure that you're thinking about is those videos, if they're still driving your channel, but it's not the content that you are going to be publishing now, then you should just kind of consider, maybe I should just start a new channel and then use this old channel as kind of like a filter to get people over to there, because that subscriber count is going to quickly not mean much when people stop responding to your content, if you're not one of those, rare personality type channels.
Welcome to the Nimminati.
Christopher Whirl, welcome to the Nimminati. So make sure next time you are on Facebook that you look for the Nimminati VIP Facebook group so you can join us over there. Make sure you fill out all the stuff on the way in. Also, make sure you check the community feed here and do all of that by Wednesday, because I'm either going to be live streaming either Wednesday or Thursday into the Facebook group. Looking at channels and stuff like that too. Okay, so next up on our list, we have Edward Middleton Jr. Edward Middleton Jr. says that the channel is a hero's journey channel. The goal of the channel is to motivate and encourage you to have a purpose in life. The question is, how would you expand on this description? My channel publishes videos that focus on encouraging you to have a purpose in life. You're the hero you need to be. You're the hero you need to be of your own story. First, I would take the comma out of that. You're the hero that you need to be of your own story and your journey. Storytelling based on Joseph Campbell's The Hero's Journey. If that sounds like it could be helpful, please join me. Also, another channel's creators community focused on photography, Photoshop, graphic design, and other photo-related stuff. How would I expand that description? Also have another channel's creators community. Okay, so for that, if you're just on like you're about me, then what I would do in that situation is I would actually rearrange it. The reason that I would rearrange it is I would take out like fluff things like my channel, and I would be really hard focused on the first, I think it's like 52 characters. The first 52 characters is what people see on Twitter, I believe, and the first 72 or 73 characters is what people see when people share your channel out on Facebook. Share your channel out onto Twitter for yourself, share it out onto Facebook for yourself, and you're going to see. But basically what you would do in that particular situation is you would think 100% of the viewer, and you would think, what is it exactly that they're going to get out of my channel? So think of the benefit. Sell the benefit, not necessarily the feature of what it is that you're doing with your channel. So sell what it is that they are going to be getting out of it, not these are all the things that I do. It's this is what you are going to gain from my YouTube channel, okay? Focus all of your efforts on that, and make sure that the most important parts are within that first 52 or 53 characters and 72 or 73 characters for the different social platforms as well. That's just a nuance, but that's one of those, small advantages that you create for yourself and taking away the disadvantage. So I would make sure that you definitely do that for the social media sharing. You can use my channel as an example if you share that out. Ding. If you share that out, then you'd be able to see exactly what I mean there with the descriptions. And one part of this too is that people are going to figure out a lot of this stuff through the content that you're putting out. But it is good to have that About Me page set up so that you can make sure that, one, you have a description in there of what they're going to get. Two, you can also put a little bit of information about yourself. Why are you passionate about making this type of content? Why do you care enough about making this type of content that you want to put videos out on YouTube about it? You can do that sort of thing, as well. Let's see here. So next up, we've got Nick's Fan TV.
Super chat.
Says, peace, Nick. These Saturday sessions are gold. How do we get the most out of the monetization tab? Do we need to make adjustments to the ad settings? So if you're talking about the monetization tab, like when you're uploading your videos on YouTube, then technically putting everything on is the win in that situation. But personally, I try not to use non-skippable ads because I want you to be able to just skip and get to the content that you clicked on, that you clicked for. I still show the ads, but the skippable ads, those are typically where the most ad revenue comes from. So you definitely want to make sure that you have those on if you're using ad revenue on YouTube as a source of income of any kind. But you want to make sure that you're using those. The displays that are popping up over the video, I also turn those on. I turn on everything except for the skippable and except for the cards, because I want to make sure that I'm controlling what's happening in my cards, because I don't want one of YouTube's recommendations to drive people off of my video while they're watching it and enjoying it. So I control the cards, and I also don't use the non-skippable ads. Now, in terms of if you're making 10-minute or longer videos, another thing that I'll do in that situation is I might put an ad at the end of the video, depending on the content. And for the Middle of the video, I personally don't use the ads in the middle, just because, I just don't want to interrupt your experience. Some people don't care, and they'll just put those anyway, and viewers will, they're fine with it. But I personally just don't want to interrupt your experience with with an ad in the middle. You can give me a high five for that, by the way. Karma Cashflow, what's up, dude? Nice to see you in here. Okay, next up on our list, we have All Things YouTube. All Things YouTube. They've been on YouTube for a year or more. They upload one time per week. And the education, it's an education channel. The goal of the channel is to teach people how to be awesome on YouTube. Why did YouTube remove the go-to channel feature when you hover over a comment in a live stream? I have no idea. I'm not sure why they did that. I do not work at YouTube. I'm not part of the feature team at YouTube. But you might be able to tweet at Tom and see if Tom is, see if he can give you some insight on what's up there and exactly what it is that happened. Okay. Next up on our list, we have, let's see here, 80 BPM assist. Okay, nice. I thought it was 808. I was like, yeah, got a hip hop head in the house. Okay, so 80 BPM bassist says that it's a education channel, how-to/education. The goal of the channel is to help people learn how to play the instrument that I love. And the question is, how do you suggest a small YouTuber grow if their niche is small? Same rules apply to everybody. Everybody that's watching this right now, it doesn't matter what type of channel that you have. Doesn't matter what you're trying to accomplish on YouTube. All of the same principles apply to every single one of us. We have to be able to get people to click on what it is that we're doing. We have to be able to get them to watch. We have to be able to get them to further engage. Now, of course, we can amplify that whole thing by having a deep understanding of our audience. And we have a deep understanding of the people that we're trying to reach, then that helps us cater everything is that we're doing towards that viewer instead of, just kind of thinking like, okay, how could I get this person to click on it? You think, you know what? I know that this is what this person's trying to accomplish, or that this is, these are the problems that they're having with this instrument. So how can I just make content based around solving the problems that people are having with this instrument? Are they trying to learn specific songs? Cool, I'm going to make content about that. Are they trying to learn how to repair it? Cool, I'm going to make content about that. Are they trying to learn how to tune it? Cool, I'm going to make content about that. Are they trying to find other things to use with it? Sure, I'm gonna make content about that as well. Are they trying to learn how to record with it? Okay, cool. I'm going to make content showing the people that are interested in this instrument. I'm gonna make content showing those people how to actually record the music that they're playing, so they can listen to it in their cars. They can share it with friends and things like that. So it's not just a personal experience; it's also a personal experience that they can share with other people by learning how to record it. So what you need to do though is you need to think about first the people that have that instrument. Think about what it is that they're really wanting, right? So one approach that you can take, and this applies to everybody too, one approach that you can take when you're trying to think, okay, who is it that I'm trying to reach to this content, is you can think, okay, the people that are coming in for, or that would be interested in learning how to play this instrument, why are they wanting to learn how to play this instrument? Is it just because they're interested in this instrument? Is it because they want to be a hit at parties? Is it because, they have this thing in their brain to where they're like, hey, when I was younger, I wanted to, learn how to play this instrument. I never did. But now that I'm, in my 30s, now, I have some time that I can put aside to learning how to play this instrument. So I'm going to, learn how to do this so that I can, kind of fill that hole, so to speak. But basically what you want to do is you want to try to get insights, emotional, deeper insights into the people that are watching your content so that you can fill those needs or serve those needs when people are looking around YouTube for content like yours. Because what's going to happen is the deeper that you understand the people that you're trying to reach with your content, the easier it's going to be to get people to click. Right? And the easier it's going to be for you to make content that they enjoy and that they get value from. So what I would recommend as a small content creator, if you're just getting started, is that even if your niche is small, even if you don't have a big market for your niche, just think, hey, all the people that are trying to learn how to play this instrument, what are all the different things about this instrument that people would care about? Why is it that they would care about those things? And how can I use that in the way that I'm trying to get them to click on my title and my thumbnail to come in and watch the content? And how can I use that to deliver value to them that they'll really appreciate and that they'll really be able to watch a video, take something from it, and then come back and watch another video and take something from it and keep repeating that process. You know, it's something that we all have to do. And, you know, a new channel, an established channel, like you have the same path in terms of the things that you have to do. And it really comes down to serving an audience with a particular type of content that's going to add value to them in some way.
Super Chat.
NC Disc Golf says, I have 14 videos, 13 subs. Why aren't people subbing? Yeah, so in that situation, what it probably is that people aren't able to easily identify the value that they're getting from your content. Maybe they come in, they watch your videos. I would definitely look in your audience retention, because if your audience retention's tanking, that means that you have 14 videos up, people are coming in, they're watching them as soon as your video is starting or shortly after it starts. If they're leaving quickly, that means that there's something about your content that they are not vibing with. It could be that you have your audio too loud for the music that you're playing in your video. It could be that you're being obnoxious doing the YouTube thing. I'm not saying that you're obnoxious, but I'm saying one of the variables is that you could be taking the obnoxious YouTuber approach, but the audience that you're trying to reach doesn't vibe with the obnoxious YouTuber approach, right? So start looking into your stats and start looking at like, hey, if people aren't subscribing to my channel, let me go and check to see if they're even watching my videos. Sure, they're clicking out 14 videos, and I don't know how many views you have, but I've got 14 videos, and out of those videos, I've got X amount of views, but out of those views, how many people actually finished a video? How many people got all the way to the end of a video? Because those are the people that you're going to be more likely to subscribe to your channel, because they clearly really enjoyed what it was that you made for them.
Super Chat.
Nick's Fan TV says, my streams run close to an hour plus. I feel you. I feel you. They do well standalone, but my fans want clips. Should I create a separate channel for repurposing or use the same? Test it. So in that situation, what I would do is I would say, okay, if I'm going to, like if people are requesting clips, then I'm going to put out my live stream, and then I'm also going to add some clips. Let's say over the next 2 weeks, I'm going to put out just some, random clips, some highlights from the stuff that I'm from my live stream, and I'm going to see how people respond to it. So, test that over the course of like 10 videos or so that you can just kind of group them together and get a good idea of how people are responding overall to those clips, and then make your call from there. If you find out that on that channel they're not responding to the clips, then move it over to another channel. If you find that they are responding to the clips, then in that case, then you're going to be stuck with the challenge of, do I go live and then do the clips, or should I just record the live and then just make clips? Like if you find people are responding better to the clips, as an example. So I would experiment with it so that you can use the data to make the decision on how you should move forward.
Welcome to the Nimminati.
Balkis, I hope I'm saying your name correctly. If not, I apologize. Welcome to the channel membership. Just as a heads up to you, make sure that next time you're on Facebook, you look for Nimminati VIP. That is our members only Facebook group. I'm going to be streaming in there either Wednesday or Thursday of this coming week. So make sure that you are, that you do that, and make sure that you fill out all the information on the way in so that I can verify that you are in there. Viper, man about tech in the house. What's up, dude? Viper, nice to see you in here, man. I hope that you are doing well. I don't have a what's up people button here, but if I did, I would love to play it, and I would play it right now. But nice to see you swinging by the chat, man. Karma Cashflow says, Nick, question, what do you think of hiding your subscriber count for newer channels like mine? I wouldn't do it. And the reason I wouldn't do it is because it doesn't matter. It matters to us because we're content creators, but people watching from the outside, like, they don't care. Like when somebody is getting suggested your video next to another video on YouTube, they don't see your subscriber count. When somebody's getting suggested your video on a homepage, they don't see your subscriber count. The only time your subscriber count would even be visible to somebody is when they actually click on the video, but by that point, you've already got them. So it doesn't matter. The thing with the subscriber count, I think, that people don't put it out there for is they think, well, if I have a low subscriber count, people aren't going to take the channel seriously. But at the end of the day, they're already on your video before they know how many subscribers you have. So because of that, I wouldn't hide the subscriber count. Dave the Gamer, oop, wrong one.
Super Chat
Says, watching your videos got me 1,000 subs in 3 months. High five, fist bump, nice work. How do I get bigger channels to collaborate with me to grow even faster? So if you're trying to grow even faster, then in that situation, I would reframe the approach. So when you are trying to collaborate, especially when you are just getting started and you're trying to collaborate up, so to speak, to where you're like, hey, this person's got a lot of activity on their channel, they'd probably be able to, have like a transfer of sorts from some of their audience. One thing that you need to think about is you need to think about, okay, What can I do to add value to this content creator that's in my space? What can I do to add value to them so that they'll be able to identify that I'm adding value to them, so that if the opportunity presents itself to where we'd be able to collaborate, that we would be able to do so. Now, another approach that you can take is, one, if you make awesome content, then that by itself is going to carry tons of weight. So I've collaborated with smaller channels before because they make really good content. So for example, I collaborated with a guy when I had like 50 something thousand subscribers on my channel. I collaborated with a guy that had 200. And the reason for that is because the message that he had was great. The mission he was on was great. The content was great. He's quit YouTube since then, but the content that he was putting out was solid. So I was like, yeah, I'm definitely, yeah, let's do it. So because of that, the actual content will speak volumes for you. But the problem that people have when it comes to collaborations, especially as channels get bigger and bigger and bigger, is you constantly have people reaching out for collaboration. So that becomes kind of an issue. Now, another thing that stacks on that is a lot of sponsors and potential sponsors when they're reaching out, trying to get you to make videos about their stuff. Like, for example, I have an email account, my public facing email account, asknimmin@gmail.com. It's connected to my business inquiry on my About Me page. That email gets pummeled with people trying to get me to promote their stuff, and people trying to get me to work with them on YouTube, and people trying to collaborate. And the people that are trying to collaborate, everybody uses the same language, collaborate, unfortunately, because that makes it hard to sift through everything. But for the content creators that are reaching out, for them, I'll pop open a channel and I'll look at it and I'll be like, you know, one, are they listening to all the stuff that I'm saying in terms of the advice that I'm giving? Two, what are they actually putting out? Like, what kind of mission are they on? What type of content are they putting out? What's the quality of the content that's important to me? Because people watch my stuff. There's a certain quality experience I like to give here, just keeping, the viewers, you in mind. So I like to make sure that the quality of their content matches mine as well. But one of the things that I do is I'll look at channels. Like, for example, and I still have to follow up with him, but there's a gamer. He's got like 10,000 subscribers on his channel. I want to have him on the channel because he got put on the Creator on the Rise, and he just took a unique approach to gaming content. And I was like, oh, this is great. I need to have this guy on the channel. So he's got like 10,000 subscribers, and I want to have him on the channel, just talking about that. So when it comes to collaborations, because there are so many people reaching out and things like that, it's super important that if you do send out emails or that you are tweeting people, that you are being very detailed in what it is that you're actually wanting. So let them know, hey, I would love to collaborate with you in some way. This is my channel, but here's the idea that I had in mind, and literally spell it out. Try to make it as succinct as you possibly can, because, like people, like on my channel, for example, I don't even have I have a lot of subscribers on my channel, but because of the type of content that I make, I don't have as much activity on my channel as I typically would if I was making like entertainment content of the same channel size, right? So I can't even imagine the response that they have to deal with, or all the emails and stuff they have to deal with. But even on my channel where I don't have tons of activity, I still get tons of emails every single day of like people wanting to collaborate and things like that. So the ones that have like this big long thing, I'm like, I'm sorry. I'm not going to spend like 3 minutes reading through this big long thing because I've got all of these other emails that I need to get through. So because of that, like if I see a big long one, then I'll be like, okay, maybe I'll read it later. I'll leave it as like unread, and then maybe I'll come back to it later if I have time, which I typically usually don't. So just keeping the information like tight. This is exactly what it is that the type of collaboration I want to do, and this is how it's going to add value to you. That's a really important part of that initial cold reaching out. And the reason that you want to make sure that you're adding that value that they're going to get is because another example on mine, like I have people reaching out all the time, and the approach is, hey, I'm having a hard time growing my YouTube channel. I would love to collaborate with you so you can send me some subscribers. Wrong approach. Never going to happen. Like for all of the people that send those emails that are like, hey, I want to collaborate with you so that I can benefit from it, and that's all I care about. It's not going to happen, right? But for people that reach out and they're like, hey, let's talk. Sometimes it'll just be like hey, that's not a good fit for my channel, but I just looked at your channel and here's a huge list of things that you can do to improve what it is that you are doing on your YouTube channel, things like that. So even though you might not get a collaboration, you might get something else, out of, just reaching out and just trying to create those relationships with other content creators. But here's what I do recommend that you do, Dave, is make sure if you're not already that you are on Twitter. Anybody that you're wanting to collaborate with, be in conversations with them on a regular basis on Twitter as well. And what that's going to do is that's going to start getting you recognized as somebody who is active in their stuff. Don't take the like fan person approach in terms of like, oh, hey, love your stuff, love your stuff. Don't take that approach. I mean, that's cool, but don't take that approach if you're trying to collaborate, because if you're trying to collaborate, you want them to see you as a peer. Right? So because of that, it's really important to make sure that with the approach that you take, if you go and you start interacting with them a lot on Twitter, that you're just interacting with their content as a peer, not necessarily as a fan, because that by itself can be like the difference between them actually collaborating with you or not as well. So just be cool and interact in conversation. Same thing goes if there's like Facebook groups or subreddits or anything like that. Just make sure that you're participating in the community, and then you'll start popping up on radars. It might happen fast. It might take some time, but you'll start popping up on radars as somebody that's active in that community at scale, and that by itself will also open some doors for you as well. Hopefully that was helpful. A lot of info. Ken Bozak,
Super Chat.
Thank you for the super chat. Glad that you are enjoying the content there. Okay. So, hey, Paula Oz says, hey, what do you think of trolls? I have a channel about cancer and addiction journey. So when it comes to trolls, I think that it's unfortunate that people are in a place in their life that they want to bring other people down by leaving negative comments. I think it's unfortunate. It happens here during the live stream. Like mods will actually, like there's things that are happening here in the live stream from time to time to where mods are taking care of it, because it'll be hidden right away and people don't even see it. But mods are in there, kind of hammering those things down, because people come in here and say some awful things too. But it's unfortunate, in my opinion, when it comes to trolls. It's really unfortunate that people are in that place to where they feel like, oh, hey, I'm gonna like. I'm in such a bad place that I'm going to try to project that horrible feeling that I have about myself onto other people. Like, that's a really unfortunate thing, but it happens. But because of that, what I encourage you to do, anybody that's dealing with haters and trolls, what I encourage you to do is look at them in that way. So instead of looking at it like, oh, I can't just believe this person like attacked me in this way, or they said this particular thing, or they had the nerve to say this, just look at it like, man, it sucks to be you. Right? You don't even have to say it, right? Don't even acknowledge them, but just in your head, be like, man, it sucks to be you. I'm glad that I don't have, that desire to hate on people like that. And I empathize with you for you being that type of person, and just kind of take that approach with it. Now, a bonus on YouTube is if you do get haters and trolls, if you look at the 3-bar menu over to the right of the comment, you can just click on that, and then you can choose hide from channel. And then that way they can come in, they'll be watching your videos if they want to hate on you, and they'll be leaving their trolly comments. But when you hide them from the channel, nobody's going to see their comment but you, but them, sorry. So they're basically going to be shouting into the void, and nobody's going to hear or see them, but they're just going to be shouting into the void on your channel, but nothing's ever going to surface. So that's what I recommend that you do. Other things, since you do have specific content, you're talking about like cancer and addiction, things like that. If you do have recurring trolls that come in, like they say specific things, then you can actually go into your blocked words list in your YouTube settings, and you can actually add profanity there, which I recommend everybody do. You can add all the different different ways that people say that, which I recommend that you do, because that'll massively cut down on that type of spam on your channel. You can block URLs, and you can block hashtags, which I recommend that you do. And you can also put in your own custom words to where when people say those things in your comments, it actually triggers YouTube to block that comment automatically. So if people are saying like a specific thing and you don't like it, like let's say just out of, like my hair, right? For example, because I don't have hair. If I was self-conscious about that, then I would put like hair in my section, in my blocked words section. So then that way, anytime somebody made a comment about my hair, it would automatically be blocked. Right? So because of that, then take whatever it is that you are dealing with and apply that to your blocked words list, ban people when they can, and just try to empathize, because, like the world's huge. We've got like over 7 billion people on the planet. And, there's a lot of bad apples out there, but, as somebody that is, helping people, you're helping people with like cancer and addiction and stuff like that. Like as somebody that's trying to put good into the world, the last thing that you need, or the last thing that you need to focus your energy on, is that negative side. Like just keep pushing forward, keep staying on your mission to help people in the way that you are, and focus on that, because it's really easy for us. And this applies to everybody that's watching this right now. It's really easy for us as content creators. We can get 10,000 really great comments, right? And hey, greatest stuff ever. Hey, you know, this is awesome. This is great, whatever. And you're like, oh, okay, that's cool. Hey, thanks. Awesome. Glad you're enjoying the content. This is great, great, great. But that one person that's like, you suck, right? That one person that's like, wow, this is the worst video I've ever seen in my life. All your attention, that big highlight goes to, you know, 9,999 great comments just disappeared, and all you see is that one bad one, right? Because for whatever reason in our brains, that negative one is like, oh, wait a minute, this person, you know, whatever. So, you know, just let those go and focus on all the other good activity that you're getting. Focus on all the people that you're helping with the content that you're putting out there.
Welcome to the Nimminati.
Salt Lake City, welcome to the Nimminati. Welcome to channel membership. Make sure next time you are on Facebook, make sure that you are looking for the Nimminati VIP Facebook group. And that Nimminati VIP Facebook group, make sure that you fill out all of the information on the way in. I'm going to be live streaming into there either Wednesday or Thursday of this coming week. So make sure that you at least get in there before Wednesday or Thursday of this coming week. All right. Got all kinds of stuff on that I can add on the screen here. Look at that, all that good stuff. Hey, really quick also, since I'm sitting here looking through this, I also want to let you guys know that Video Leap, I'm sure you've seen me talk about them in videos and stuff, but if you're on an iPhone and you're looking for a really good editor for your iPhone, it's just easy to use, it's fun, they got all kinds of cool filters and stuff, and you can like easily put together like Instagram stories and YouTube stories, and you can even like fully edit a YouTube video on there too. But definitely check out Video Leap when you get the chance. It's really good. I'm not like they're a sponsor of the channel, and I'm not saying that because they're a sponsor. Like I'm saying that because it's like a really good app. It's what I use when I'm doing my stories. And if you're enjoying the content so far, make sure if you haven't yet that you subscribe and click the bell so you don't miss anything moving forward. Okay, so next up on the list, we've got, let's see here. We've got Teams Gaming. Teams Gaming says that they've been on YouTube for less than 1 month. Nice. Welcome to YouTube. High five, fist bump. Welcome to the platform. I'm sure there's a lot of new people that have come onto YouTube and just started making content based on, you know, kind of what's going on. Everybody having that extra time at home. Because of that, you know, I'm sure there's a lot of people that have just started recently. And really quick before I get into this, Lydia S says, do you know any websites YouTubers can sign up to get paid sponsorships? Thank you. Yes. So YouTube actually has one called FameBit. It used to be standalone by itself, and then basically YouTube bought it. So if you go to famebit.com, then basically that's YouTube's thing that connects influencers with brands. Now, just as a heads up, the deals that you get there are going to be Brian Malone Jr. in the house. What is going on, Brian? Nice to see you here, my man. I hope that you are doing well. Always love seeing you swing by in the chat. But basically, when you are doing the whole sponsorship thing, just as a heads up, like the advantage that you have when you are reaching out to people individually is a bit higher compared to what's going on FameBit. Because on FameBit, what's happening is like a brand will post something and then they'll just be flooded with content creators trying to get the deal. So you have all this competition. But if you're like, hey, this is a product that I use all the time. I talk about it in my videos already anyway. It's something that I like really dig, and it's something that I use on a regular basis. Like highlight it in your content like already, and then hit them up. Hit up the brand and be like, hey, you know, this is what I'm doing. I use your stuff all the time. I would love to work with you in some way. Put together a media kit, be professional. Make sure you get like a .com for your YouTube channel. Make sure you get an email attached to that .com, and approach them like as a professional and be like, hey, you know, I would love to, you know, work with you in some way. I already love your content. You know, put together a press kit or a media kit where you have like all your stats from your channel. You talk about your avatar in terms of the type of person that's watching your content, what they get out of your content, and how the type of content that you would make or that you make would be of value to that particular brand and the products that they have, and try to work something out that way. I think that the relationship that you can create there and the win for you and the brand can be bigger there as well. Because on FameBit, what you're going to do, and if anybody's doing sponsorship stuff, I'm about to share some information with you that's going to help you make more money from that. But basically, when you are using like FameBit or something like that, which is it's great. It's a great place to start, get your feet wet, get you familiar with the process of working with people. But when you're using a service like that, again, you're competing with all these people. So because of that, you know, the amount of money that you're getting for the deals and stuff is typically lower, and it's typically just a one-off deal. Now, if you want to win and you don't want to have to, you know, be chasing sponsors all the time and things like that, what you want to do ultimately is you want to try to work out long-term agreements with people. And when you work out long-term agreements, let's say it's like a 6-month deal, a 1-year deal, a 3-month deal, or maybe even like a 7-video series. What you do in that situation is you take that 1 video deal that you could have gotten and you make it into 7 deals in one swing, or you make it into like a 6-month contract or a 1-year contract in one swing without having to go through all of the, you know, competition side, competing with all these other creators that are submitting proposals and things like that. You just directly reach out to people through email, let them know what it is that you have to offer, why it is that they're a good fit for what it is that you're doing, and you know, invite them to work with you in some capacity. Now, most of the people that you reach out to are going to turn you down, but what you're doing is you're actually getting on their radar, which is important. And as long as you stay on that grind and you're constantly reaching out through emailing these companies, through going through LinkedIn and looking to see who their influencer relations person is and trying to connect with them on LinkedIn and have conversations with them in LinkedIn, like that sort of thing continually is what will lead you to like bigger and better deals in the future as well, if you want to handle that kind of stuff yourself. Because that's another thing really quick that I do want to mention on that is when you are doing that yourself, then you do have, you know, like the sponsor might send you a contract, but it's also good to have your own contract as well. I know like Ian Corzine, I've got a link to him on my bestcreatortools.com website. But basically like with Ian, like in that situation, if you took that approach yourself, then you could buy like a pre-made contract from him, and then cause he's a social media lawyer, but you'd buy a pre-made contract from him, and then that would be the contract when you actually got the deal going with the brand. Another thing with FameBid is they actually handle payments, to where with the brand, you would also have to handle the payments as well. So a little bit more work involved, but if you're trying to take this stuff to a professional level, it's part of the gig. Hopefully that helped. Hey, you like that Stormtrooper help there, or that Stormtrooper helmet there, Damon? Nice, nice. Yeah, it's my homie over there. He guards my play button, because there's the play button. So the Stormtrooper guards my play button over there. Okay, so next up on the list, here we've got, let's see here, Teams Gaming. And they say, what is the screen mirroring app for Windows 7 apart from a power mirror? So a screen mirroring app, I'm not sure. So I know that if you are going to be doing it for live streaming, you can get OBS camera, I think it's called. And with that, it doesn't do your screen. Oh, no, because this would be for Windows 7. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure. Screen mirroring app? I don't know. Yeah, I really don't know. Trying to think. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know the answer to that one. If anybody knows a screen mirroring app, feel free to drop it in the chat. All right. DevTrend says it's crazy how Nick can retain all of this good info. You know, really, it comes from experience. You know, it comes from experience. It comes from like, this is what I do. You know what I mean? So like, you know, like a lot of people, they're like, you know, hey, I've got my job, I've got, you know, this, I've got that, I've got the other thing. But like for me, like this is what I do. Like I'm like literally I wake up and I'm like, you know, reading about YouTube, or I'm like digging into stats, trying to find stuff out for me or for friends, or I'm not working with clients at the moment, but when I was working with clients, I would dig into their stuff. But it's like, you know, this is like what I do. So because of that, it's just, you know, just rattles around in there. And it's like what I'm like, I lay in bed at night thinking about this stuff. So that's why that information is in there. Okay. So we got that screen app. Okay, next up on the list, we've got Living Ironically in Europe. I love it. They upload bi-weekly. They've been on YouTube for less than a year. The goal of the channel is to try and grow as much as I can. And the question is, how do you find channels to collab? What is a good approach to them via email, social media? So we just went over that whole thing about collaboration. So I think we got you covered there. But yeah, reach out on Twitter, reach out on you know, their Facebook groups, reach out through Reddit, you know, all of that stuff. For, you know, being able to, you know, interact with people to be able to do that. Now, just as a heads up, also, every email channel has a business inquiry email. So as long as they filled their channel out properly, they set it up properly, then you can reach out to people directly via email as well. But just make sure that you have like a tight package that you put together on what it is that they're going to gain and what it is that you want out of the collaboration as well. Roger Wakefield in the house. What is up, man? Yeah, she loves it. And I'm constantly talking to her too, trying to get her to do a YouTube channel also, which we did. We did, I think, like 4 videos or 5 videos. But it's not her thing. She's not digging it. So we stopped. But yeah, that's how obsessed I am, to where it's like, hey, I'm doing it and I'm trying to get her to do it. Right. So we could talk about it together.
Super chat.
Nate Brody, thank you for the super chat. Says 2 weeks ago, I was at 4K in subs. I'm about to cross 5K. This is starting to get serious. What are some good next steps? High five, fist bump to you. So next steps when it comes to YouTube is you want to kind of take things to a professional level. So you want to start looking at yourself, if you're not already, as a serious YouTuber. And this sounds kind of crazy, but hang with me here, is you want to look at yourself like you're a serious content creator or a pro YouTuber. And the reason that you want to do that is because you're going to start approaching things differently. So when the momentum starts happening on your YouTube channel, you want to look at it and you want to say, okay, at this point, which I recommend you start doing this like right out of the gate anyway, or you take this approach out of the gate. But what you want to do is you're going to cross a point to where you're going to be like, hey, things are starting to go really well here. This might be something that I'm able to actually like turn into something. And because of that, I need to get everything set up properly. So because of that, things that you might want to consider are, 1, actually forming a company, like an LLC around what it is that you're doing. 2 is, I mean, you can go just sole proprietor if you want to. That's totally fine. But some people choose to go with an LLC, just tax reasons, that kind of thing. But you also want to make sure that you have like a website. You don't necessarily need like a full, all features website, but just like a 1-page website to where people, if they want to know anything about you, they can actually go to your website and they can find information about you there. Also have like a link to your YouTube channel, all your social profiles, that kind of thing. But the most important part about having the website, and you can do this without a full-blown website, but you do need the URL, is that you want to have an email account associated with what it is that you're doing. And not just like a Gmail account to where it's like, hey, this is my Gmail account. You want to have like, your Gmail account's fine for people that you know, for signing up for stuff, for even having conversations after you've already, had the initial introductory conversations with people. But you want to have that professional email address to where it's on your domain name. So in your case, it would be like, natebrody.com. So it'd be like Nate or me at natebrody.com. And basically what that's for is if you're reaching out for any sponsorships or you're doing any type of professional interactions, you want to make sure that you're using that particular email, right? So then you're leveling up there. So basically you've got your website, you've got your email address. You also want to start looking at what it is that you're doing from a more professional perspective. So what that entails is, if you went from 4,000 to 5,000 in a month, then, or in 2 weeks ago, then what you're doing as you're starting to get this momentum is you're going to start having like more ad revenue come in, and you're going to start having just more activity happen on your channel in general. So what you need to do is you need to start looking at what videos are driving ad revenue, because if I'm going to turn this into anything and I'm going to need financing behind it, then this ad revenue is going to be one stream of income that I'm going to make off of what it is I'm going on YouTube. So I need to make sure that I understand on my YouTube channel what videos are driving the most ad revenue, so that when I need it, I can make sure that I'm making that type of content that's going to have a higher ad revenue. I also need to make sure that I know that, so that I can filter people through what it is that I'm doing and get them to watch more of those videos with the higher CPMs on them. Now, another thing that you want to do is you want to start looking at your content, and you want to start looking at every single video that you publish with a certain mission. So you want to say, this video here, I'm putting this one out because this one typically gets higher ad rates. So that one's like a money video. This one right here is something that typically brings me more subscribers. So this type of content here is a piece of content that every single time I make this type of video, for whatever reason, people seem to really resonate with this, and then it generates more subscribers. So then when you have your content strategy and you're putting that together, which is another part of being professional, is that you say, okay, well, I'm going to publish these videos because they help grow the channel. I'm going to publish these videos because they help drive income. I'm going to publish these videos because they add tons of value to the people that are watching my content, and they just need to know this stuff, right? So you have like these different reasons that you put out for all the different content that you are releasing. So when you're doing that, then what you're doing is you're basically starting to program your brain to look at all of this from a professional perspective, instead of only looking at it from the creator perspective. Because the creator perspective, like, that's cool because that's what helps you make good content. But if you like it or not, every person that's watching this, as your channel starts doing well, if you all of a sudden start getting 100,000 views a video or 50,000 views per video, all of a sudden you're going to start taking YouTube really seriously, because it's going to start generating income for you. And the more views you get, the more income it's going to start generating for you, which is going to cause you to take it even more seriously. So because of that, like, you got to be prepared for that kind of thing. And I really recommend that everyone starts looking at their channel with that perspective to where it's like, hey, if this turns into something, if I can turn this into something, scratch that. If you look at it and you're like, I'm going to turn this into something, then go ahead and start getting everything in place now so that you can actually start looking at it from that professional perspective instead of just looking at it like, hey, I'm just a content creator, I'm a small channel. Just stop even using language like that because it doesn't matter, right? Like when you're looking at yourself as like a small channel or a small YouTuber, right out of the gate, you're discrediting yourself and what it is that you're doing and all of that. You're looking down on yourself, where a viewer doesn't even care how many subscribers you have on your YouTube channel. If your audience is petty, like let's say that you're a gamer and you have a bunch of kids watching your content and they're petty and they're like, oh, why are you even playing this game? You've only got, 1,000 subscribers on your channel. Who cares, right? like if you have a petty audience, then you should probably just change the type of content that you make. But outside of that, unless you're like a content creator, the whole subscriber thing doesn't even matter, right? Like people get so caught up in that. So because of that, like just start looking at yourself as like, hey, I'm somebody that is doing this YouTube thing. I'm turning this YouTube thing into whatever it is that you're trying to turn it into. And because of that, I need to have these particular things in place in order to keep turning it into this, more professional experience for myself and for the people who come through the YouTube channel. That even includes little things. Like I'm going to get my branding together so that when people experience me on the internet, on my Twitter, on my YouTube, on my website, wherever it is that they're interacting with me, they get like a seamless experience, right? The tone for my brand, it's going to be, it's going to be a helpful light tone so that I can make sure that, that people are not being abused. I don't know. To make sure my approach isn't too abrasive is what I'm trying to get at. But basically, you want to put all of that stuff together and just start thinking of what it is that you're doing from just like that more professional perspective. So I kind of beat on that horse for a while, but I hope that answered your question there, Nate. All right. So let's see here. There was a super chat that came in, and I'm going to scroll up here and find it really quick. Also want to say,
welcome to the Nimminati.
Mike's Auto Detailing, welcome to the Nimminati. Make sure next time you're on Facebook that you look for the Nimminati VIP Facebook group. Also, since you are a detailing channel, make sure that you check out AM Details when you get the chance. He's a friend of mine. He used YouTube. I haven't looked at his channel in a while, but he used YouTube to basically take his like local auto detailing shop to like an international product selling now he's able to like expand his shop and all this stuff, but he had like this auto detailing business like on like an island or whatever, and basically he took that like one bay thing and turned it into like an international deal where he's like selling all of his different products and stuff all over the world through his YouTube channel. And he also, his like I don't know if superstar is the right word, but he's, like when he goes to all the different events and stuff, people are wanting to get pictures taken with him and all of that. It's just been amazing for his business. So definitely check out AM Details if you're auto detailing, because he's really good inspiration for that, because he worked it like you should work it. Let's see here. Oh, there it is. I see it. Oh, I just scrolled past. Okay.
Super Chat.
Salt Lake City says, started as a maker channel in January and just got 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 hours of watch time last week. High five, fist bump. Laser cutter really blew up. Not much traction on our 3D printing, blacksmithing. Should we just focus on the laser? Yep. So basically, when you identify that content that people respond to on your channel, do it. Like just keep doing it and keep following up with more and more and more. And then what you're going to end up doing is you're going to end up creating an audience that's into the laser stuff. So if laser, because I'm not familiar with like blacksmithing and 3D printing and all that, but if like the laser has good crossover into the 3D printing, like if those two go hand in hand, then in that case do like, the laser and the 3D printing. But if the laser, like if the blacksmithing doesn't fit in with that, in terms of like, hey, people that are into laser cutting, they are typically not into blacksmithing, but they are typically into 3D printing as an example, then you can make that complementary content. But if not, then I would just go laser for a while and see how people respond to it. But yeah, niching down is really, really effective here on YouTube. All right. Karma Cashflow says, at what stage in your YouTube career should you start looking for sponsors? YouTube growth, should you start looking for sponsors? So some people have actually gotten sponsorships before they've even launched a channel. I've never done that, never attempted to do that, never tried to do that with any client or anything. But some people have been able to accomplish that. Now, in order for that to happen, typically the relationship already has to be there with that brand in order to get them to have the backing on what it is that you're doing. Because just a random person hitting up some company, you know, there's no history there. There's no anything to prove that you're actually going to be able to deliver on what it is that you're talking about. So because of that, for most people, I would get a little bit of traction going. Like I would have, you know, to where you're getting at least, you know, a few hundred views per video. And then once you start doing that, you have like a specific niche of content, which you do. Then what happens in that situation is you become a micro influencer at that point. And a lot of people really want to work with micro influencers. And because the reason is because they can work with a lot of micro influencers for the price that they would work with one like bigger channel. So because of that, you are actually at an advantage that situation. Like you're going to get lower rates, but you are going to be able to get sponsors. So like in your situation, I would get, you know, like 500, 1,000 views per video, probably 1,000. And then once you can consistently get 1,000 views per video, then I would start reaching out because people want to know if they're spending money, they want to know that that money, that they're going to get some type of ROI on it. So I would wait until you start getting at least 1,000 views on a video. If it was me, that's my personal spot there. Okay, next up on the list, we got Mike's Auto Detailing. Welcomed to the Nimminati. Let me scroll down here. I'm just kind of catching up in chat here really quick, and then we'll get right back into the questions. Let's see here. Jackie Huro Food Reviews says, happy Saturday, everyone. Hey, everyone, happy Saturday. So, okay. So if you're just joining us, I do want to let you know that the questions that we are answering here on the show are pulled from the comment section. Not the comment section. What am I talking about? I just went into podcast mode. Basically, the questions that we're answering here are pulled from the form in the description of this video. So make sure that if you have a question that you put it there. I'm pulling some out of the chat too, but just make sure that you put like the form is being prioritized. It just, if I happen to see something, that's when I pull it here. So
Super Chat.
Christina Smallhorn says, how many subscribers are considered a micro channel? I would say like 1,000 to like 50,000, maybe even 1,000 to 100,000. And the reason for that is because like after that 100,000 whole thing, then you start. Typically, like if you're in a channel that has like a good constant base of people, the amount of activity that you're getting by the time you have 100,000 subscribers is typically a lot. So because of that, I would say like 1,000 would be kind of like the cutoff for the micro. But I mean, if you have, like in your situation, like I think that you would definitely be considered a micro influencer at this particular point. But really, it comes down to, like, I don't think anybody is going to look at a channel and say, okay, well, the cutoff, they have 50,000 subscribers on this channel, but this other person that had 50,000 subscribers that we worked with, they're a micro influencer where this person isn't, right? So I would say under 100,000 subscribers would be a micro channel. The smaller, the better. Like there'll be a lot of people that will work, and FameBit's really good for this. So if you go to famebit.com, which is owned by YouTube now, but if you go to famebit.com, you'll see a lot of like smaller stuff in there. I don't know, but at one point you had to have 5,000 subscribers to even get into FameBit. But these days, I don't even know if that requirement's still there or not. I should probably look into that. But I would go there and you'll be able to see the different types of things that people are offering for the different subscriber sizes. Because some people will say, this many subscribers. Homegrown USA.
Super Chat.
How do we find a good, trustworthy manager to help us grow? So much time goes into making content, thumbs, etc. Someone to look at our algorithm and to help improve. So it's more your stats that they would be looking at. But when it comes to finding like a good person to work with, I personally recommend that you just work with somebody that can clearly demonstrate either through what it is that they are doing, through the proof that they have from working with others, or both, in order to make sure that you are going to be in good hands. So in that particular situation, I recommend, if you're looking for somebody, depending on your price point, if you're looking for somebody to help manage in terms of like they are going to either help you upload and optimize your videos, they're going to help you with like thumbnails, like that kind of thing. I think Daniel Batal does that type of work. I know he does consulting, but I think he also does some like channel management type stuff as well. So I would definitely reach out to him. He might even be popping in the chat at some point in time, but if not, you can just go to danielbatal.com, DanielBatal.com is his thing. But he's awesome. He does consulting on the side for himself. He also does consulting with TubeBuddy as well. And he does great on his channel also. Like he got, I think like his first year on YouTube, I think he got like 15,000 subscribers on that. Since then, I think now he's at like 60, 70 something thousand subscribers on his channel. He does great. Let's see here. Next up on our list. Okay, we will go into the form here. Is from Living Ironically in Europe. I think we got that one already. Yep, we did. Okay, so Tumblr Sidious says that they upload bi-weekly. They've been on YouTube for less than a month. They do entertainment content. Got to recharge. There we go. All right. Oh, he's at 90K now. Okay, yeah, so he's at 90K now. So he's getting ready to get a play button. So so he knows his stuff. But I do want to tell you, though, also look into like Matt Geelan, for example, Little Monster Media Company. He's also extremely well-versed in this stuff. Like he works with like he's worked with like Nickelodeon and like all these other like big brands. Now with him, his YouTube channel isn't that big yet, but he has like a history of being, you know, like very effective with all of this stuff. So don't always just look at the subscriber count, but you do want to make sure that you can verify something that they are doing well, because there's a lot of people right now on YouTube that are making like how to grow on YouTube content because they think it's easy content to make. However, as part of that, they're also giving advice and they're trying to get clients, because they know, hey, if I'm making this type of content, the people are going to be hitting me up to work with me and things like that. And they don't necessarily even know what they're doing with their own channel. And because of that, they're definitely not going to be able to help you with what it is that you're doing on yours. So just be very cautious of who it is that you end up working with, because there's a lot of people out there that are trying to make it seem like they know what they're doing, but they don't really. Okay, next up on the list here, we've got, okay, so the question is, how do I get an audience, like without sharing my real profile? Like I don't want parents or anyone to know my identity, so I cannot share videos, but I still need an audience. It really comes down to YouTube, Tumblr Sidious. So it really comes down to YouTube. And the reason for that, and the reason I say that, is because the people that you're looking to reach, the people that you're wanting to watch your videos, they're already on YouTube and they're already looking for content to watch. So the difficult part, the big bridge, the big hurdle that content creators need to get over. Yeah, Christina says, make sure you know your YouTube guru. Absolutely. But the big hurdle that you're trying to get over on YouTube is your ability to get people to click and watch what it is that you're doing. Now, with that, there's also the actual topics that you're making your videos about, right? And if you're wanting to get more views, you're wanting to get more subscribers, you're wanting to, you know, get that whole ball rolling for you, you have to think, okay, the topics that I'm covering, like how widespread are these topics? Like how big of a market do I have in terms of people? Like how big of a market do I actually have with this content? So when I publish this video, how many people would actually even be qualified to be interested in this right now? And you can use tools like TubeBuddy to figure that out. You can use like, you know, Google Trends to figure that kind of stuff out. But you can start just kind of looking into the actual topics that you're putting out and trying to get a general interest. Like, hey, do I have a chance of getting a lot of views with this content? If so, then now I got to move on to my packaging, which is my title and my thumbnail. And I got to get really good at getting people to respond to what I'm doing there. And then I got to get really good at getting people to respond to the actual content itself. So it's a process that you have to go through, and it's really, you know, like it's a big hurdle that you have to cross. But once you cross that hurdle, then you can knock it out of the park. Like, you know, Christina, for example, she went through Daryl Eve's channel Jumpstart. And like the stuff that she learned there, you know, like basically like her big thing that she was missing was just kind of like her topical approach. But once that she got that taken care of and she started going after some more popular type topics that gave her like a bigger market to reach, then, you know, like her channel's like blowing up right now, and she's putting out content that people are responding to at scale because she took a topical approach to what it is that she's doing, which helped her like really advance. And if I missed any details with that, Christina, feel free to correct me there.
Super chat.
Pokerev says, can you stream with guests remotely in 1080p? I tried StreamYard and it only goes up to 720 from what I've seen. Also, how did you pin your comment? So the comment was pinned. I actually did that inside of the YouTube live thing for the merch thing because the option was in there. It just says, hey, pin it. And I'm like, yeah, okay, I'll pin that one this time. But typically I will pin a video up there, or maybe a playlist, so that I can just get people watching more, you know, more content. But the thing with the pinned comment in the live is all I have to do is I can right click, or not right click, but I can click on the 3-dot menu from the live chat. right? From inside of the live chat from my account, I can click on the 3-dot menu and I can just go down to pin comment. And I can pin literally any comment that's here. All right. So next up on the list is from Wayne. Says, thanks for all the info. I love your info. It helps a lot. Thanks, Wayne. I appreciate the super chat there. Bunches. Thank you. Thank you for that. All right. So Albie Cat says, no Brian yet. Brian's actually on vacation today. I'm actually doing solo stream today. So what I'm doing is I'm trying to keep you on your toes, right? I'm like, hey, I'm going to do a solo stream, and then I'm going to do a group stream, and I'm going to do a solo stream. So you don't really know what you're going to get until you show up and you're hanging out. But yeah, today's solo. You'll notice the difference by being like the StreamYard streams are a little bit lower quality, and like he was saying, they're like 720. This might be 720. I don't even know what this is streaming at. I have this one set for 1920. But my stream key right before I went live said that I was 720. So yeah, it looks like I'm going up at 720. But yeah, typically the quality when I go solo is a little bit better. Steve McDonald said, when is your course going to launch? I'm going into beta, I think, at the end of next week. It keeps going back just a little bit. And the reason for that is because I'll be like, oh, you know what? I need to add this, or I'm going to redo this because I can say that a little bit better. What I'm working on right now is actually getting all the back end stuff worked out. And then we're ready to rock and roll. So, that's when it's going into beta. So beta is going to be a little bit different. And basically when we go into beta, then I have like the initial modules in there, and I'm still going to be working on it for like the next like 30 days for the initial beta part while we get it ready for launch. And the reason for that is the beta lets people come in, go through it, and then I get feedback so I can fix any holes, any misunderstandings, anything like that. And then we're like ready to rock and roll for the full launch. So that's why the beta people will get like a huge discount. Channel members, actually. That's the only people that are going to be offered beta. So, okay. So let's see. Our next question that we have here is from Anox Gaming. Anox Gaming says that the goal of the channel is I want to make it as a courier. And the question is, the games we are playing are played by many others also. So we don't even get a chance to get discovered, or even if we are discovered, people don't care because we're not famous enough. So how do we make this problem's fix? Okay. People don't care if you are famous or not. Okay. People don't care when they're watching your YouTube videos if you're famous or not. The only person that cares about that is you, and it's your own insecurities that make you think that that's important. If you're putting out good content that people enjoy, that's what people care about. They care about what it is that they are getting out of your content. They don't care if you're famous or not. If somebody clicks on a video from a homepage, they don't know how many subscribers you have. They have no way of knowing how many subscribers you have until you've actually won that click, right? So it comes down to, when they click on that video, how good are you at grabbing their attention? It's not because you're not famous. It's not because you don't have a following already. It's how good are you at being able to grab that person's attention by letting them know that they're in the right spot, or that they've, clicked on the right thing, or that whatever it is that you're going to be showing them in that video is so important that they need to stick around and watch. Like whatever your approach is with hooking them at the beginning, your ability to do that is going to supersede how popular you are on YouTube. Because again, casual users, when they're going around YouTube and they're clicking around stuff and they're watching everything, they don't care. They don't care how many people you have subscribed to your channel. They don't care how many views you have. What they care about is, what are they going to get out of what it is that you are doing? That's what people care about. Am I going to get entertained by this or not? Is this funny? Am I enjoying this? Is it an experience that I'm getting a good quality experience from? If the answer is yes, then that's going to supersede if you have 100,000 subscribers or 2. Right? If it's good content, it's good content regardless of how many subscribers you have. Roberto Blake in the house. What's up, Roberto? Nice to see you here. Hope that you are doing well. Roberto says that people think subscribers are a magical answer to having a loyal audience. It is not. Absolutely. It is not. All right. So next up here on our list, Roberto, I would invite you in, but I'm actually solo streaming today. I'm running with Streamlabs instead of StreamYard today. Doing very well, staying safe here in Atlanta. That's right, you're in Atlanta. Oh, man. Yeah, I hope that you are doing well down there, my man. Hope everything is good. I just got the, I just found out about like all the stuff that's going on there, because, I'm over here, so I'm like disconnected. But yeah, I just found out about all the stuff that's going on there earlier today. Holy moly, it's a mess over there. Huge mess over there. So yeah, man, hope that you are, hope that you're doing well. Galaxy Orbs 91 They have they upload 1 time per week or more on YouTube. They've been on YouTube for less than a month. They do tech content. The goal of the channel is to get out tech news to help other people purchase tech products. Some of my videos get over 200 views. However, some videos of the same category and time with as interesting a thumbnail only get 20 views. Why is this? Because you think the thumbnail is interesting, but the people that are clicking on your stuff do not. That's why. So when it comes to saying he's blasting it on Twitter, not sure what you mean there, Danny Hatcher. But basically, when it comes to the thumbnails, you thinking your thumbnail is interesting versus the data saying that your viewers are not finding that interesting, those are 2 totally different things. So as a content creator, we always think that our stuff is probably better than it is, or at least as, we think that it has this certain standard to it. But the only way that you're really going to know if it has that standard is if people respond to it like it is that standard. So for example, if you have one thumbnail and title combination, you have your content packaged in a certain way, and you're like, hey, people really responded to this, I know they're going to respond to this, and then you take that stab and they don't, well, that tells you that, okay, well, maybe what you thought was interesting or good, or the elements that you thought that got people to click with this, isn't what actually got them to click with that. So then you have to step away and look at the whole situation objectively, and you have to say, okay, let's go back to the drawing board and let's try to figure out why I think that this video did well compared to this video. And it's not always just the click either. So it could be the click, it could be your packaging for it. It could also be that, people responded to the actual content itself more in the original video. And because of that, YouTube deemed it as a good viewer experience, which then caused them to show it to more people that would enjoy that video compared to the other one. Maybe people didn't enjoy that one as much. This is why it's so important. And everybody that makes content like this, we all are constantly hammering people on like, hey, look, you have to dig into your stats. If you like it or not, it's part of being a content creator. If you want to get results on YouTube and you want to stop wasting time, you got to dig into your stats so that you can really get a deep understanding of how people are responding to what it is that you're doing, so that you can identify, these are some holes that I have and what it is that I'm doing. So I need to fix these holes so that I can get some momentum and start, taking things in the direction that I want them to go with my channel.
Welcome to the Nimminati.
Yes to crypto. Welcome to the channel membership. So just as a heads up, make sure next time you are on Facebook that you look for Nimminati VIP. That is our members only Facebook group. Make sure you fill out everything on the way in, because I confirm that everybody's a member, on their way in. So make sure that you do that next time you're there. There's also some free stuff for you in the community feed, and there's also some free stuff in the Facebook group as well. So make sure you dig around once you get there so that you can access all the free stuff. I'm thinking of putting that in like all the free stuff for the channel members, just for you guys, just so you know. I'm thinking of basically compiling everything into like a Google Drive or something like that, and just putting that one link there as maybe like a pinned post. I think that might be, I don't know, we can talk about that when during the live stream. But yeah, it's something that I'm considering doing.
Super chat.
One Step, good morning, my dude. Nice to see you here. Nice to see you hanging out. Adventures in Dirt, what is up? Nice to see you hanging out here as well. All right, Paul Peck, Drywall Tube in the house. What's up, man? I hope that you are doing well, staying safe as well. Yeah, Roberto's in ATL, man. Whew. Car Galaxy Studios, what's up, dude? Nice to see you here. Okay, so next up on our list, did we do the tech one here? Okay, yeah, we got this one. Okay, so next up, we got this. Eddie MC says that they upload every other day. They've been on YouTube for less than a month. It's a gaming Minecraft channel, and the goal of the channel is to help people get ideas for their builds through top 10 designs videos. Good approach. The question is, how do I attract attention to my channel through comments without mentioning my channel? Is it possible? Don't waste your time. So what you're doing in that situation is you're saying, how do I go into other people's comments? This is what you're actually asking here, is you're saying, how do I go into other people's comments and leave comments in a way that will get people to come over to my channel and watch my stuff? Don't waste your time. When you're interacting on YouTube, interact on YouTube for the sake of interacting on YouTube. Don't go and interact in comments for the sake of getting people to come over to your YouTube channel. You're wasting your time. That's okay. Like when you start thinking of all the different ways that you could spend your time to grow your YouTube channel, that approach, and I'm not like attacking you here, I'm just letting you know, that approach is like way down here on the list of ways that you can spend your time for the best result, right? So like interacting in any type of like sub for sub conversations, or trying to get people to your channel by leaving comments, or trying to be clever with the comments so people will come to your channel, things like that. That's way down here. What you need to do is you need to take that time and say, I'm going to interact on YouTube while I'm in consumer mode. Like me, I have consumer mode that I go into. I have like three actually different accounts that people don't even know about, where I can go and freely interact on YouTube as those accounts, and people don't even know it's me, so that I can just interact as, so I can just interact as those channels on YouTube. So I recommend that you do the same, that you're like, hey, I'm just going to interact as, I'm just going to interact on YouTube around the content that I enjoy on YouTube. Not I'm going to interact for the sake of getting something in return. And the reason for that is because your time can be so much better spent. Like the hour that you would spend going around YouTube, leaving all this comments, sitting back, thinking, and using all this brain power on, what can I say that's really clever here that would get people to come and check out my channel? When you're going through all of those things in your brain, you're just burning so much energy that you can spend literally looking at your latest video and watching your audience retention report as you're watching that video, saying, I wonder why people left during this part. Wow, people really stayed during this part. I wonder why. I'm going to get out my notepad and I'm going to start writing down why I think that is. Wow, the click-through rate on this thumbnail compared to the impressions that I got on it is really high. I wonder why. Is it the topic? Is it the colors that I used in the thumbnail? Did I really focus good on this? Did I do something in my title that people responded to? Like, spend your time doing that kind of stuff. That's the stuff that will move the needle. Like, when you're taking the approach of like, hey, I'm going to go leave a bunch of comments around YouTube, what you're doing in that situation is you're saying, I'm going to put in all of this work for just like a possible like few subscribers that I might get from doing it. Instead, take that time and say, I'm going to put it towards stuff that will actually move the needle and that will help me make better content for people, so that my channel will actually pick up real momentum. So YouTube will start being able to identify that, hey, people really dig this content. And then YouTube will start putting your content out in front of people, and then they'll start clicking on it, and that will get that whole snowball rolling. That's what you need to be spending your time on, not going and putting your, your focus on the channels. All right. So next up, let's see here. Next up on the list, we've got 2 new games. They upload daily content. The goal is to get engagement and to make a fan base. And the question is, please review my channel. And I say in the form, do not ask me to review the channel. It's in the form. All right. Next up on the list is IND Kill, says that they upload every other day. Gaming channel, but I like doing vlogs and photography, and I want to make people happy with my content and reach 10,000 subscribers. Is it bad that people spam random keywords in their description? So you're not allowed by the community guidelines. You're not allowed to actually spam blocks of tags in your description. That's actually a violation of the community guidelines, and you can actually get your video taken down from it, and ultimately your channel if you do that a lot. So because of that, you don't want to spam random keywords in your description, because what you're doing there is you're violating the community guidelines on YouTube, and they can and probably will eventually take your videos down because of it, because they see that like you're trying to game their system. And when you're trying to game their system, they are not happy with that in any way, shape, or form, and they will, those videos will be toast eventually if they're not already. So because of that, you definitely do not want to do that. It's not okay. So yeah, it's bad. You don't want to do that.
Super chat.
Getting jiggly with it. Nice. So that just made me think of, was it Will Smith did the Getting Jiggy with It? So it made me think of Will Smith, who I just watched earlier today. I just watched Will Smith's remix of a Joyner Lucas video called Will, where he basically came in on that video and he basically just recorded a verse for the Joyner Lucas video. It's pretty cool. Okay, but anyway, Getting Jiggly with It says, I've relaunched my channel and I have old videos not in my niche. Should I unlist them or make them private for the algorithm? They have low to no views. Yeah, if they're not related to what it is that you're doing now, go ahead and unlist them. And the reason that I say that is because, technically one of those could take off, but if it's not in line with the content that you're making now and the people that you're trying to reach now, then it's not really serving your long-term purpose or long-term goal of the channel. So because of that, if it was me, I would unlist them. I actually have videos on my channel, the channel that you watch now. I have videos on here to where, I've went back, I've deleted like a nice handful of videos on my channel to where I'm like, you know what, this is either outdated or it doesn't, it just doesn't add the value now that it added back then, or it's just a totally different type of content, because when I first started this channel, I wasn't doing YouTube tips. I didn't have the knowledge then. So I wasn't doing YouTube tips. It was more about like video ideas, but there was also things like, you know, how to stay focused when you're working in a coffee shop, like that kind of content, more freelancer based stuff. So because of that, you know, once I said, okay, I'm going to focus more on video creators, then I went back and I, you know, basically deleted those videos that were, you know, not targeted towards video creators. So yes, to answer your question. Mike Phillips,
Super chat.
happy Saturday, my man. Nice to see you hanging out here in the stream as well. Thank you for the super chat. It is it's appreciated. Let's see here. So next up, we've got, so the form to answer your question there, one is the channel name here, is basically I have the form down in the description of this video. So one, since everybody in here, hey, what's up, Professor Nez? Nice to see you, man. So one, for everybody in here, since you're a content creator, I have stuff that you can use for your YouTube channel, things that you can use, like all kinds of stuff in the description of this video right now. But one of those things is the form. There it is. I'm going to learn to point to this thing one of these days. But one of the things is the form where you can actually put in the questions that you have for your YouTube channel. But basically, check all of the description, all the things in the description on there. I've got links going to like editing apps, links going to Place It, which is like a great resource for all kinds of different stuff for content creators. They've got like end screens and like mock-ups and channel art and all this stuff, easy customizable stuff. I've got links to Video Leap down there, which is a video editing software or video editing app for iPhones. Is what I use for my YouTube stories and things like that. I've got links to my best creator tools website down there, which is basically like a resource site that I put together for YouTube content creators, where you can go and you can find all of the different things, because people are always asking in the live streams and everywhere else, hey Nick, what editing software do I use? Hey, I need somebody to help make thumbnails. Can you lead me in the right direction? Hey, I need people to edit my videos. Can you help me there? Like, I've got solutions for all of that, and all the different tools and stuff that you can use for your channel over at bestcreatortools.com. So make sure you check that out as well. Got a link to my podcast too, Comments Over Coffee. So if you're into podcasts, definitely make sure that you're checking that out. Got a link to my video planner that you need to check out down there as well, which is open for affiliate promotion. By the way, if you target content creators, then you can actually promote this to them. Not the Best Creator Tools, but the Pad Planet thing as well. All kinds of useful stuff down there. So make sure you check it out, as well as the questions. Okay, now with all that spiel over. Okay, so next up, we've got... Okay, we did ID kills already. Did I answer this one? Is it bad random? Yep. Okay, we got that one taken care of. Next up on our list is from Mark Savant Media. Cool. And Mark Savant Media says that the goal of the channel is to get noticed online. Or what kind of channel do you have? How to get noticed online? Podcast, social media, YouTube. And the goal is to help people create content to get noticed and generate income. And the question is, my channel is currently vlog style, one-on-one with a camera, but I'm launching an interview show very soon. Would love to have you on. Sure, reach out. Email me at asknimin@gmail.com. Should I release the full length and clip episodes on the same channel? They're all related to the theme of getting noticed online. Test it. See how your audience responds. So I know Roberto, he's in the process right now of putting together a clips channel as well. So you know, just give it a shot. Give it a shot and see how your people respond on your current channel. And if they are responding to it on your current channel, then you can just leave it there. But if you start putting content there and you notice, hey, you know, people are not really responding to this, then in that situation, then it's like, okay, here's just a clear way that I can identify that I should probably put this on another channel. All right. Okay, next up on our list, actually.
Super chat.
Says, hey, I was wondering if you give a small guy a shout out. So it looks like Osmo, it looks like that was it. So shout outs, just as a heads up, man, they don't do as much good as people think. Now, if I was PewDiePie, sure, it'd make a big difference. But like with a channel my size, it's not something that really adds tons of value to you as a content creator. So like the thing that, like, a lot of people who are just getting started on YouTube will think like, oh, hey, if this channel with, you know, 50,000 subscribers would just tell people to come and follow my channel, that they would do so. That might happen, but it also might end up working against you more than it works for you, because the audience might not be right. And then it can screw up all the stuff that's happening on your channel in terms of YouTube identifying who's responding to what. And it can actually work against you in that regard. Your numbers might inflate, but it could actually work against you, because those people, when they're presented with your content, wouldn't necessarily click on it if they just came over because the person told them to go there and things like like that. So it can, if you're a huge content creator like Shane Dawson or PewDiePie or somebody like that, it can make a difference, but it might not be the right audience for you. So hopefully if they're sending traffic your way, it is the right audience for what it is that you're trying to do. For example, Shane Dawson, there's somebody that used to hang out here in the live streams. I did a channel review for him a long time ago. I talked to him. I talked to Oliver at like all the conferences and stuff because he's always there. But basically Shane Dawson gave them a shout out on their channel because his daughter's really talented with what she does. She was actually on American Idol, and he gave her a shout out on his channel, like 3 of them. And they went from, I think it was like, 5,000 or 10,000 subscribers to like 400,000 subscribers over the course of like a couple of weeks, based on those shout outs. So it can definitely put you on a map if the audience is a right fit for what it is that you're doing, but that's Shane Dawson. That's not me. So like me giving you a shout out is pretty much useless, compared to, somebody like that. Like you might have like a few people trickle over. If it was a collaboration, then it's a little bit different because then they actually get a taste of you and your content and all of that. But just shout outs, they're pretty much useless, unless the channel's ginormous. Chris,
welcome to the Nimminati.
Chris, welcome to the channel membership. Make sure that you, next time you're on Facebook, that you look for the Nimminati VIP Facebook group. Make sure that you do that so that so that you can join the live stream. It's going to be happening this week. Also, make sure you fill out all the questions on the way in because that's how I actually verify that you are a channel member on the way in.
Super Chat.
Insane McLean in the membrane says, is there a way to see when people are leaving other people's videos even through a third-party app? No. Yeah, so like that sort of thing at this point in time is not something that's available, or at least not to my knowledge. Maybe if you got into like agency level tools, you might be able to. But in terms of all of the things that are, that are reasonable for a content creator to assess what's going on with their competition, those things are not available at this point in time that I'm aware of. That'd be a pretty heavy advantage to have. So if any tools like that do pop up, then you might want to check them out. Roberto, do you know of anything like that? I don't think that Tube, what's it called? There's an industry tool, Tube. I can't think of it off the top of my head, but it's called Tube something. It's not TubeBuddy. It's anyway, they have like a bunch of like additional like deeper insights like on the back end. But it's for like MCNs and people that are doing like brand level work. I can't think of what it's called. Tubular Labs. That's it. Yep. Thank you, Roberto. Yep. Tubular Labs. Yeah. I'm not sure if they have something like that. I'm not sure if they have something like that or not. But even if they did, I think their service is like $1,000 a month or something like that.
Super Chat.
Ed Clark says, I hate the way my recorded voice sounds. Is using neutral voices in my videos a detriment to growth? Neural voices in my voices in my videos a detriment to growth. So I'm not sure what you mean by neural voices. Let me Google that really quick so I can see, but no. So basically your voice, like neural voices, hold on. Oh, is that like a robot voice? Hold on. It is. Okay. Yeah. So in that situation, like some channels do grow off it. You might have a hard time. Yeah. So neural voices are basically, they're like robot voices. So like Amazon has their own like neural voice person apparently, to where you can like do like different stuff. That's pretty cool. But basically with those, I know some people are having hard time or having a difficult time getting monetized and things like that now with they're doing that. But one thing to remember if you have trouble with your voice is, one, you can EQ your voice to where your voice will sound better. You can use free tools like Audacity that can help you, just equalize your voice in a way to make it sound more pleasant. Like my voice when, even like right now, like my voice, I'm running my voice through a processor right now to try to make it sound, a little bit more pleasant, a little bit more smooth, like that sort of thing. My videos, every single video that gets published on the channel, the voice has been processed in that. And you can tell a clear difference from, like, hey, this is non-processed and this is processed, makes a huge difference. So I recommend that you look into that so that you can just give yourself the advantage and not be stuck into like a neural voice, because a neural voice, even though it could get the job done for you, you might have trouble monetizing later. And if you do get monetized, then there's no actual like personality behind what it is that you're doing. And there's not really like a lot of like, fluctuations with the voice and things like that, to where you can like really make dynamic types of content. So because of that, I would try to use your personal voice if you can, but just try to EQ it in a way that's a little bit more pleasant. But keep in mind, that voice is how other people hear you anyway. So if you have friends in real life, if you have people that know you and like you in real life, then there's people like that on the internet too. You're just giving yourself a hard time about your voice because you don't like how it sounds.
Super Chat.
Pokerev says, is there a way to get your channel members' mailing address if I wanted to send out a monthly package to higher level members? Can't find an answer. Okay, Pokerev, here's what you do. I got you. Okay, so as you'll notice with me, what I do is I send people to, I let people know as a channel member to join the Nimminati VIP Facebook group. Not everybody does. So there's like a percentage of people that do go over and they join that Nimminati VIP, but not everybody that's a member joins that Nimminati VIP. Some people are, they're concerned because, the privacy thing and all of that. However, one thing that that you can do in that situation is you can make an asset like that that's off of YouTube to where when people go to that, then you can have something in there. Like, for example, if I wanted to, and I actually did, but I ended up deleting them all when I changed services. But if I wanted to, I can post a link in there and I can tell everybody, hey, I'm going to be sending you notifications every time I upload a video. I'm going to be sending you notifications for when I go live. I'm going to be sending you notifications if I, send you an email if I find like a special deal on something, whatever. And I could basically just post that in that Facebook group, and then everybody could sign up there who would be interested in that. You could also do something similar to where you do a community-only live stream on your channel, and you have an offsite page. And on that offsite page, you would send them to that, to where you would set it up to where you would say, hey, during your live stream, your members only live stream, you'd be like, hey, for everybody that's doing this, I want to let you know that I'm going to be sending you some special stuff. So because of that, I have this opt-in form or a link to it in the description, and you can head over there and you can sign up for that so that any members specific things that I do, then I can send them your way through that. So that's the approach that I would take. So it would be off-site, and you would let people know through your live members only live streams. You would let them know that you have that page off-site to where you'd be able to get the address. Hopefully that helped.
Super Chat.
Chrome Blazin says, thank you for sharing your knowledge. I'm curious about the background and point of view lighting on you. All right. So in the background, and I'm going to use my handy dandy Stream Deck for this because I have all my Hue lights in the entire house actually like beamed through this thing. But basically like here, if I turn these off, oh, I didn't even have the filler on. Is that the sofa? Hold on. We've got, oh, the filler's not on. Uh-oh. Yes, I have a filler light that should be on there too, but it's not for some reason. Okay, but anyway, so when I turn this off, you can see that the image that you're seeing on screen, it's just like a little bit flat. I mean, sure, you can see some stuff in the background, but there's not a lot that's really going on back there. So because of that, I turn the lights on back there so that it just creates some depth, to what it is that's going on. I'm actually going to turn that filler light too, because the filler, I don't like this like dark spot behind me. So I have a filler light that just isn't working for some reason here. There we go. Okay, so the filler light came on. But basically, what I have here is I have all this stuff going on in the background to create depth, right? So it kind of helps me pop out from all the stuff that's going on in the background. It's blue because that's complementary to my skin tone, pretty close anyway. And for the lights that are hitting me, I have right here, do I have the NDI thing set up here? I might be able to just show you. Hold on, give me 1 second. Let's see here. Let me add, okay, yeah, I don't have the NDI thing set up in here right now. But basically, the lights that I have here, I have one aperture LED light that is literally right here. I can go like this. I'm touching it right now. And it's facing this way. So I'm just catching the ambient light off of it. I have another aperture LED light over here on this side, and that also is facing out that way because I don't want that light splash hitting what's going on in the background. So I'm just creating ambient light from those two lights kind of facing each other, really. And then right here, I have a screen, and I try to be mindful of keeping something on here that is like a light mode, like the either YouTube light mode, or like right now I have this Amazon thing open because we were talking about the neural voices. So I have that open, but it's like a light screen. And you can see here, if I switch this to YouTube, to a dark screen, how the whole thing gets dark. So I have this on here just as like a little bit of an accent to just kind of help light me up a little bit as well. So that's kind of what's going on. That's what's going on here by me doing, you know, with this lighting setup. Now when I'm standing, totally different setup. I've got like a Godex light right here with like a filter on it that focuses the light in on me. I've got like a hair light. Don't say anything about the hair light. No, I'm just kidding. But I've got the hair light that puts a little bit of a shine here and a little bit of shine on my shoulders. And then I've got another light up there that just kind of, same thing, it's facing sideways so that I get the ambient light from it for my fill, but I don't have a lot of spill in the background, which allows me to be able to keep, you know, that like dark vibe going on behind me. So Roberto says that Nick will have 1 million subscribers in a year by focusing on YouTube tips exclusively. Yeah, for sure, for content for YouTubers. So it's like the YouTube tips content doesn't necessarily drive the channel. It's more like the live streaming stuff, mobile stuff, that actually drives the channel more. Well, if we do it as a content set, because I have more of the YouTube tip stuff, so I guess accumulatively, it's probably pretty similar. But yeah, it's just being a resource for content creators in general. You know, showing everybody the, you know, all the different tools and all the different, you know, ways to live stream and do stuff on your phone, and plus the YouTube tips, all that stuff. Yeah, it's just a good resource for content creators, and that's, you know, it's one of the things that helps the channel do well, without question.
Super Chat.
Andy Combo says, we are splitting our channel. We had 2 niches, comedy skits and professional wrestling reviews. Should we remove old wrestling vids from the comedy channel? If you're trying to reach an audience that is interested in comedy content, then I would definitely unlist the other content. You might take a hit for a while if those videos are driving traffic to your channel, but that you're taking a short-term loss for a long-term gain in that situation. So yeah, if you're going all in on comedy, then I would make every single video in your channel about comedy, so that regardless of what YouTube shows people from your content library, it's still based on what it is that they're interested in, which in that situation would be comedy. All right. So next up on our list here says that the question is, says that. I don't even know what that meant. Okay, Carter McCullough says that they upload daily. They've been on YouTube for less than a month. It's a gaming channel. The goal is to have fun. What are some good ways to edit on my phone because I don't have a PC? If you're on a iPhone, Video Leap will get you taken care of. If you're on an Android, then you'll want to use KineMaster or VLLO. Both of those will get you taken care of on an Android. The Anime Boy says, the Anime Boy says, the goal of the channel is to have fun with people and chat with them. The question is, do you need an overlay while you're playing your games? And if possible, please show me a website, or how can I do it live/recorded? Okay, so in terms of an overlay, do you have to have an overlay? No. And the reason that you don't have to have an overlay is because, you know, if you have your game and then you have kind of like, here, I'll just show it here so you can see. Nope, that's not it. D is missed. Let's get a hashtag #MissYouD. Just, you know, so that Dee can know that he is missed here in the live stream. Looking forward to him coming back when he can. But basically, if you look at this right here, you can see how I've got the little window, you know, down here in the bottom. And then you can see, you know, on the screen what's going on. Like, just this is enough. Like, I have an overlay. I have the moving webcam thing. Like, I have that, but it's not required. Like, it could just be my screen down here, and then with the you know, with this screen in the background, you know, showing people, you know, the actual gameplay or whatever. So because of that, you don't have to have all the graphics and things like that. They just make it cooler and more interactive. And they also make it where things like this, for example, like I'm getting ready to drop a be right back screen. That doesn't mean I'm leaving, but I'm just showing this as an example. But with this be right back screen, like things like this are important to have, so that, like, if you have to use the bathroom or somebody walks in, or, you know, something's going on, you need to take a break for whatever reason, having something that looks like this will help you be able to, you know, have that opportunity for that to, you know, to be able to take that break, for example. So things like that. Oh, Dee's actually hanging out in the chat right now, actually. So yeah, let's get some hashtags #MissYouD there in the chat for sure. So nice to see you here, Dee. But yeah, but you know, having those graphics, it definitely helps add to what it is that you're doing, and it helps, it does make your stuff, look better, and helps make it look, more professional and like that kind of thing. So, if you can use them, do, but it's not a requirement in any way, shape, or form. So Insane McLean, thank you for the super chat again, says, do you have a shirt clip mic that you would recommend for use with the Canon M50? So a lavalier mic, if you're going for like a budget, then you can use a Boya BY-M1. With that, you'll be able to plug it directly into your camera, and it's like $20. But the bonus with that is the BY-M1 has such a long cable on it that it's like, I don't even know, like just the cable by itself probably cost them $20. Like the actual cable itself to connect, and then, you could have your camera really far away if you wanted to. It's really far. So because of that, Dee says it's 6 meters long for the cable. So that gives you some insight. But that's a good solution for you. You can also look into any of the Rode lavaliers. Rode is fantastic with all of their products. So you can look into any of the Rode lavs. Those will also get the job done for you. Yeah, Doug says he's got a a Boya mic sitting on his desk right now. Yeah, we've got him in the studio too. I know Dee has done like a mic comparison on those before. The Steam channel, good morning. Nice to see you here. The Artist Haven, what's up? Nice to see you here too. Okay, next up on our list, we've got Jesse Bro. Jesse Bro, the goal of the channel is to one day get monetized. And the question is, hey Nick, I was wondering if it's possible to get 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 hours of watch time with just a phone. Boy, is it. So first, if you're still hanging out here in the chat, if you're still hanging out here, Jesse Bro, you need to check out my bro's channel, Dee Nimmin. He's in the chat. His entire channel is about mobile content creation. So if you are a mobile content creator, go to his channel right now. Make sure you subscribe because you're going to enjoy all the content he's putting out. Two, when you are thinking, hey, is it possible? It is extremely possible. Mr. Beast, in fact, got like his first 100 or 200,000 subscribers on his channel just using an iPhone. So if he can do it, then absolutely, yes, you can do it as well.
Super chat.
NC Disc Golf says, I have 13 videos. How many more until I get 1,000 subscribers? The amount of videos you make does not determine 100% the amount of subscribers that you're going to get, because if you put out 10,000 videos that are not effective videos, because you're not taking the time to, put together a good thumbnail or to put together a good title for them or to make good content, then what you're doing is you're putting out 10,000 pieces of ineffective content, and you're still not going to get there. But you can flip that around and say, hey, I'm going to put out 100 really good videos, and I'm going to take time to dig into my analytics, pay attention to what's going on and all of that. Then what you're doing in that situation is you're learning how to make effective content. And by making effective content, then you're going to be able to grow your channel a lot faster, because that effective content is going to make it possible to do so. So you can have one video that gets you 1,000 subscribers. I have videos on my channel that have driven 50,000 subscribers. Like a video. I have one video. Actually, don't make me pull this up, because I will pull this stat up right now. No, I'm just trying to play that we're gonna turn this car around thing. But yeah, like I have videos on my channel that have gained me like 50,000 subscribers just on like that video. Hold on really quick. I'm actually just going to look, because I think I have more than just the one, but I'm just going to confirm really quick. Let's see here, subscribers. Go to all time. See what's available to me. Actually, I have one video. Yeah, okay, so I have one video on my channel. So here's how powerful like good videos can be. I have one video on my channel that's driven me 60,000 subscribers. I have another video on my channel that's driven me 41,000 subscribers. Another video that's given me 32,000. Another video that's given me another 32,000. A video that's given me 23,000. Another video that's given me another 22,000. 18,000, 14,000, 13,000, 12,000, 11,000, 10,000, so on, so forth, and so on, and yada, yada. But the idea is, if you focus on making good content that people enjoy and that they get value from, then you don't have to think, how many videos do I have to make in order to get there? You just have to think, I know that I'm going to get there. I know that I just have to keep fine-tuning and perfecting what it is that I'm doing so that people will respond to it more and that they will get more value out of it, so that they'll be more inclined to subscribe, right? Super important. But as a heads up, I do have a video on my channel And mods, if anybody has it handy, you can go ahead and drop it. If not, then not a big deal. They can find it. But basically what you want to do is you want to watch this video, because I do have a video on my channel about how many videos that it typically takes to get a certain amount of subscribers. And this is averaging across YouTube. It's not like if you do this many videos, you're going to have this many subscribers. It's more of, this is across a bunch of different channels on YouTube. This is about how many videos they put out to reach certain subscriber milestones. So that's a really, really good video. Lucid Living, glad you are enjoying the content. Thank you for your kind words. I appreciate it. Okay, so next question that we have here on the list is from Yoo-Hoo Gaming, and the goal of the channel is to entertain the people into earning money online. And the question is, my channel is for gaming, funny videos, and I don't know how to promote my content. What tags should I use, and how do I promote my channel? So your videos are not going to perform based on the tags that you use, and anybody that's thinking that, you need to stop thinking that way. So your YouTube channel performance, or your YouTube video performance, is not going to be determined by the tags that you use in your videos. The thing that's going to determine if your videos are going to perform is how the people that YouTube is showing your content to are responding to what it is that is being put in front of them. So you have to think at the topic level, how good of a match for this topic is the people that I'm trying to reach. This topic, how interested are the people that I'm trying to reach? Are they going to be interested in this topic? And then from there, you got to think, how can I package this in a way that's going to be intriguing to those people that I'm trying to reach? And then once you learn that process, then it's how can I make content in a way that those people are going to enjoy it at the highest possible level that I can get them to enjoy that content, so that they will subscribe, they will share it, and things like that. That's more the process than tags. When you're thinking, what tag do I need to use to get discovered? You're looking in the wrong direction. What you're doing is you're like, hey, right here is where all of the people are that I'm trying to reach. This is where all the people are that are possibly going to watch the videos on my YouTube channel. But I'm looking over here at something that I can do over here in order to try to get those people to watch what it is that I'm doing, right? So because of that, like you don't look at your tags and say, what tag do I use to get in front of more people? You look at your video title and thumbnail, and you look at the content that you're putting together. Still use your tags, but you're looking at your title and your thumbnail and the topic of your video, and you're looking at the content. That is what gets people to, and that's what gets people to respond to your content. And that's what gets people to enjoy your content. When you can get people to enjoy your content, that's what causes YouTube to put your content in front of more and more people. My son's mother, what's up? Nice to see you. If the chat isn't moving, then at the very top, you might want to change it from top chat to live chat, or if you already have it at live chat, you might want to change it from live chat to top chat.
Super Chat.
Resetta's Why Moss TV says, what website do you recommend to get sponsors? So if you're looking for sponsorships right now to get started, I would head over to FameBit. FameBit is a company that YouTube bought. So YouTube is actually behind it. They work with all different size channels. You go in there and basically you bid on different opportunities that are there. You can also reach out to people that would be companies that would be a good fit for the type of content that you make. Handle yourself in a professional way. Roberto says FameBit is shutting down, so maybe you don't want to take that approach. You can also check out Grapevine Logic if they're still around. They used to be able to. I know that Social Blue Book, that is something that they also have available, sort of. I know that they're working on getting that a little bit more expanded, but Social Blue Book also has I've actually personally gotten a deal a long time ago through Social Blue Book. So you can look into them as well, socialbluebook.com. All right. Next up on our list, we have Salt Make City. Salt Make City says they upload 1 time per week or more. They've been on YouTube less than 6 months. It's a maker channel, inspire makers. We just got monetized, and community just opened up to us. How do we start using that? The community tab. So if your community tab just got opened up to you, what you want to do is you want to mix in your own content. But you also just want to share things that would be of interest to your audience there. Share. That's a great place to where you can ask people their thoughts on what it is that you're doing, the content that they want from you. So you can get some activity going there. You can also share behind the scenes photos, that kind of stuff. You can highlight other content creators. You know, one thing that I'll do from time to time is if I see something really cool, I'll be like, wow, I gotta share this. I share a majority of the things that I share in there are people in my space that also make content about YouTube or how to do different things on YouTube. And the reason for that is because if I'm sharing it in my feed, there's a really good chance that it's going to show up in front of you. And if it shows up in front of you, I want it to be something that you care about, which would be something, you know, YouTube related that would help you with your channel in some way. So because of that, most of the stuff that I share is based around that sort of thing, either from my own content or from other people in my space. So in your particular situation, same exact thing. If you're like, hey, this person is, you know, they put out something really cool, share it, let your community know about it, but also make sharing your own content part of what you're doing there too, because you can actually add a lot of views over the course of the month just by sharing your own content in your community feed. Dig into your backlog when you're doing that, either like your most recent video or your backlog, for the sake of, you know, if you had, you know, like 1,000 people subscribe over the last 30 days, for example, or 100 people. Out of those 100 people, not all 100 of those people have watched all of the videos on your channel. So because of that, sharing some of your old content that is proven to perform in terms of, you know, people typically watch those videos for a fair amount of time, share that content in your community feed so that you can get those people, you know, more familiar with some of that older content as well that's performed well for you.
Super Chat.
A&B Combo says, if you already violated YouTube policies with tagging and purchasing views, etc., not knowing it wasn't okay, how do you redeem your channel? So if you've already been flagged, you've already been flagged. So if you've been flagged to the point that you have lost the channel, then there's nothing you can do. But if you haven't gotten to that point and let's say you've participated in those things, but it hasn't like caught up to you, then in that situation, what I would do is I would stop right out of the gate and I would just stop doing that. And I would just focus all of your efforts right now on doing everything organically on YouTube. You might have a little bit of a building process that you're gonna have to go through to get out of the hole that you probably dug yourself into in terms of people not responding to your stuff. However, you can dig out of that hole. So you can either one, try to dig out of that hole on your current channel, or two, you can just start fresh, blank slate, go in full, you know, with all the stuff that you've learned from the current YouTube channel, go in full bore on the new version and start uploading new content to that channel and try to grow that channel more organically without doing all of that stuff that, you know, that you shouldn't be doing to grow a YouTube channel. So hopefully that was helpful for you.
Welcome to the Nimminati.
Fiscal Rangers, Florida, I want to let you know, first, welcome to the Nimminati. Two, make sure that next time you're on Facebook, you look for the Nimminati VIP Facebook group. Make sure that you fill out all the information on the way in so that you can basically, that's how I verify that you're a channel member. So make sure that you do that on the way in. Also, make sure you check the community feed here because there's some stuff here for you as well. Keep
Super Chat
says, hey Nick, how to know if I'm being an obnoxious YouTuber? I upload every week, but I don't have enough traffic nor retention. What am I doing wrong? So to know if you're being an obnoxious YouTuber or not, that really comes down to your audience retention. So even though you might not have a lot of information in there yet, you can still get an idea. Even if you've got 100 views on it, you can still get an idea of like, okay, when people are coming in, like how are they responding? Even though it's a little people right, or a few people right now, how are they responding to what it is that I'm doing? You can still get those insights. But you know, be objective. Like, you know, like if you're putting out content and if you're being over the top, you know, and you just have to decide, is that like a persona that I'm going to run with? Or am I going to kind of just be more of my normal self, but a little bit amplified, or like, what is it I'm going to do and figure that side of things out. But in terms of like knowing if you're obnoxious or not, you know, you know, but looking in your stats to, you know, even if you just have like 100 views on a video, going in and just see like, okay, those 100 people, how did they respond to what it is that I'm doing, and try to get just a general idea from there. And then as your channel grows, you're going to get more and more insights. Like that's one of the perils, so to speak, of being a new content creator, is that you don't have a lot of data to work with yet when you're making your decisions. So because of that, you don't have any, especially if you don't have any experience like on YouTube at all, like you don't even know like, okay, well, with 100 viewers, is this good or bad? Or, you know, how many viewers do I need to even get to make this even matter? So because of that, because you don't have all that data to work with yet, you have to, you know, be really objective about what it is that you're doing, comparing yourself to, not comparing, but basically just looking at other channels in your niche and being like, okay, am I, you know, kind of like in line with what's going on here? The people that are responding to these other channels, like, am I in line with what's going on there? And you have to go through that process of doing what Roberto says, of uploading like 100 crappy videos so that you can get enough data through that experience to make some really solid decisions on, okay, out of these 100 videos. I've now accumulated like this many views. If I have to group videos together, if I have to group 10 videos together that have gotten 100 views on them in order to show me what 1,000 views, how 1,000 people responded to what I'm doing as a whole, then that's what I'll do in order to get that idea. But you start getting a lot more data to work with, so you can start making stronger decisions that way. So that's one of the things that you kind of have to go through so that you can have that data to work with, especially if you don't know, like if you don't have that system developed yet on how to do all this stuff on YouTube, then in that situation, then you have to go through that process of just uploading content to be able to identify what's going on. But when you're trying to figure out what you're doing wrong, the best thing that you can do to know what it is that you're doing wrong, and for everybody, this applies to you, if you're trying to figure out what you're doing wrong on YouTube, the best thing that you can do is educate yourself, because through education, you can start being able to identify things. Like everybody that hangs out here in this live chat, for example, when you see the people come in and they're like, hey, my channel's doing this. I'm so glad that you share this information. I was able to take that information. Now my channel's doing this. Like for all of those people, what they did is they listened to the videos and they listened to live streams like this and other people that made content like mine. They probably listened to some podcasts. They probably read some blogs trying to figure out like, hey, what works, what doesn't work, like all the things at scale that work or all the things at scale that don't work. What am I applying? What am I not applying? All the best practices, like my channel art, for example, the layout of my channel page. Is it easy for people to find content on my channel? Things like that. Like through educating yourself on all of those little nuances and all those details of YouTube, then one of the things that you're able to do in that situation is you're able to identify those things on, like, hey, am I doing this wrong? Am I doing this wrong? By knowing that those things are wrong through educating yourself through the process. But YouTube has a great resource. I've got a link to it down in the description. If you're just getting started and you're trying to get a handle on all this stuff, you're trying to understand what YouTube wants from you, then there's something called the YouTube Creator Academy. It's 100% free, provided by YouTube. And it basically just goes over the best practices of the platform. And they even talk about things like, if you're paying attention when you're going through it, and I recommend that at different stages of your YouTube experience that you go through the YouTube Creator Academy like again and again and again, because you're going to be able to start noticing things that you didn't notice before based on the knowledge that you have. So for example, when you're first going through it and they're talking about how videos get suggested next to each other based on them being topically related or based on videos that people typically watch together, your first time through, that might not make a lot of sense. But as you get more experience and as you educate yourself more, you start realizing like, oh, videos that are topically related. So basically that means if this person that is getting momentum on YouTube, if they're putting out content and they're talking about these particular topics, if I put out content where I'm talking about these particular topics too, then in that situation, if it's about a game or whatever it happens to be, but I'm taking a very similar topical approach to what they're doing, then what I'm doing is I'm opening myself up for the opportunity or possibility of possibly being connected to the content that they're putting out as well. So you'll start identifying things like that. Like as you get more and more knowledge, you start being able to even take that information that they give you for free in the YouTube Creator Academy and being able to get like deeper insights even out of that, to where when you go through it the first time, you'll still get tons of insights, but it might be a little bit more basic, to where as you start developing more and more knowledge from the more information that you consume, then you'll be able to start being like, oh, now I know what they mean when they're talking about, videos that people typically watch together and how the relationship between suggested content happens and how that whole thing works. So basically what that means in a nutshell is, if somebody watches video A and then they typically click on video B, and that video B just happens to be put together in like a series playlist, which causes YouTube to show it more anyway next to the other videos in that playlist. If people typically watch that, or the content creator is constantly telling people, hey, watch this video next, watch this video next, watch this video next, then the likelihood of that sliding up into that next up spot or even being suggested somewhere high there is going to be drastically increased, which is going to help me easily get more views on my YouTube channel and grow my channel easier. Like you're going to be able to identify, all of those types of things in an easier way the more that you educate yourself. Because even though there's like a lot of complicated stuff to YouTube, it's also extremely basic. I mean, anything can be basic, but like the idea is like your job as a content creator is to learn how to get people to click on what it is that you're doing and enjoy your content enough to where they engage with it further. Maybe they share it, things like that. But then they also keep coming back to your channel. In a nutshell, that's what YouTube is. Tons of nuance involved in all of that, but that's in a nutshell, what success on YouTube looks like and the problem that you have to solve. I got to get people to click. I got to get them to be interested in the topic. Like they're interested already in the topics they're interested in. So I got to make the content that is of topical interest. I got to get people to click. I got to get people to enjoy the content, and I got to get them to further engage. Like in a nutshell, that's what you're trying to accomplish on YouTube. And if you want to, I know right now you don't have because I really walked down a long road here, but to keep, I know right now you don't have a lot of that information to work with on your channel. So that's why right now is a really good time to make sure that you're educating yourself so that as your channel grows, you can really take all the information that you're learning and and apply it rapidly to all of the new content that you're putting out on your YouTube channel. Really long answer there, and I went down a bunch of different avenues, but hopefully that answered your question.
Welcome to the Nimminati.
Brock Morrell, welcome to the Nimminati. Make sure that next time you're on Facebook, you look for the Nimminati VIP Facebook group, and I will see you over there. Also, make sure that you check the community feed as well so that you can download any of the free stuff that I put in the community feed. But most of that, I think, is available in the Facebook group now, too. Let's see here. I also had another channel member come in. I just want to make sure that I welcome you also. Fiscal Rangers, Florida. Yeah, so welcome you to the channel membership as well. And the same thing goes for you also. Okay, next up on our list is, I'm going to scroll down here really quick because I had it paused here on Dekeep's question there. Okay, so next up on our list here is the Happy Wheels Minecraft channel. They have a gaming channel. The goal is to have fun and entertain. The question is, hey, Nick, I hope all is well with you. Thank you. I hope all is well with you too. Says, I have two questions. Why do views go up and down at the same time every year? For example, I always notice that less views around this time of year. Second question, I use a computer to create videos, but I saw your tweet about fake Video Leap Android apps. I didn't do a fake, that you might've seen my brother's tweet. Maybe, I don't know if he tweeted that. I'm not sure. But do you have any idea when and if it's coming to Android? So, Video Leap right now currently is only available on iPhones. However, they are working on a Android version, but I'm not sure when it's coming out. But in the meantime, you can use something called VLLO if you're on an Android, and that will get you taken care of. Jesse Steck, what's up? Nice to see you hanging out in the chat. Eric Waite, what's up, man? Says, hey, check out Nick's video, how to deal with haters. Yep, absolutely. All right. Hey, Richie Dalton in the house. What's up, dude? Nice to see you here. Tim Yachts, what's up, man? Nice to see you here. Femininity with Mama Gail. What's up? Nice to see you hanging out in the chat as well. Rainy, what's up? Nice to see you here also. Adelance, Circuit Switch. David Oldenburg, nice to see you here too. Dayo, what's up, man? Nice to see you making those gains also. Nice to see, nice to see. All right. So next up on the list here is, oh yeah, hope all is well. I have two questions. Why do views go up and down? Okay, why do views go up and down? Basically, so viewership on YouTube can be seasonal. So basically things that can happen is depending on the type of content that you make, like in your example, you're doing gaming content. So you have things like the weather to deal with. Like if the weather's nice, maybe not as many people that are consuming gaming content are inside consuming gaming content. Maybe they're out in the world doing stuff. Maybe people are going back to school, or maybe they're taking a break from school, and both of those things can cause traffic to go up and down. Maybe the particular, hey, what's up, Dale? Nice to see you in here. Self-publishing with Dale. Maybe the people that you're trying to reach, maybe based on the things that they're interested through the different types of the year or different times in the year, those things can cause the views to go up and down as well. So there's definitely seasonality to YouTube. Depending on the type of content you make, things like that, can be can make it different. So for example, like if you're doing fishing content or hunting content or content that's based on doing things outdoors, then in that situation, you might see a slowdown in the winter months when people aren't going outdoors as much, or they can't really like take what it is that you're doing. Like if you're talking about like fishing, right? And you're talking about different things that you do with fishing, then in that situation, that content might go down in the wintertime where there's not as many people out fishing. So fishing isn't at the top of mind. So they're not looking for content on YouTube about fishing, right? So things like that can cause that to happen. All right. So next up on our list, we have Insightology, Mental Health and Psychology. The question is, the goal of the channel is to educate people on mental health and tips on changes to help them improve their lives. Super cool. Love those missions. Says, I've been uploading one time per week for 6 weeks. The feedback I have from friends at present is 1 time a week is sufficient for them to keep up with. However, I think that to grow my channel, I should try to post 2 times a week. Should I cater the feedback to my current subscribers or work on gaining more subs by increasing my upload amount? Love your channel. Thanks. Glad you're enjoying the content. So when it comes to the channel and when it comes to making your decision on how much that you should upload, your friends are probably not the best people to get that feedback from, because your friends, ultimately, some of them are probably going to watch your channel and they'll probably keep watching your channel on a regular basis. However, the channel is going to grow from strangers watching your content and from you putting out enough content that strangers will actually come in and watch what it is that you're doing. So because of that, I really recommend that you focus all of your efforts on paying attention to the content that's driving your channel, in terms of, the stuff that's getting views and getting subscribers, and double down. Start making 2 times per week content if you can, if it fits into your workflow, if it fits into your lifestyle in a way that's not going to be like overwhelming or it's not going to cause you any stress. If you can do that, then I would do 2 times per week. And the reason for that is because 1, that will help you stay top of mind. 2, it will help increase your content library, which means YouTube will have more stuff to recommend to people when they come into your channel. So just because somebody comes into your channel today doesn't mean that they're only going to get notified of any future content that you put out. They're also going to get recommended your back catalog. If they respond to certain types of content on your channel, YouTube's going to identify that, and YouTube's going to notice that they're responding to that type of content on your channel. And because of that, they're going to go through your backlog of content. They're going to say, hey, let's start showing this content to the people that have recently subscribed to this channel. And it seems like their systems are going to identify, hey, when people subscribe from this videos, when we show them these videos, they typically respond to those, so let's show them those. And then they're going to get their own little system down of the videos that they show to people and all that. So because of that, I recommend that you upload 2 times a week so that you can build out that back library, so that you can also get more data quicker in order to grow your channel, as long as the content that you're putting out is effective in terms of you're able to get people to click, watch, and further engage. So that's what I would recommend that you do. Next up on the list, we've got, let's see here, Dakeep. Another question from Dakeep. Let's see if it's the same. Okay, hey Nick, how do I increase my retention on my videos? I'm not sure if it's that I talk too much or the way that they are recorded. I have only a few subscribers, and not having retention is translating on nor having any subs. Okay, so if you only have a few subscribers and not having retention, yeah, that definitely translates to not having subscribers, because if people are not watching your content for a fair amount of time, then that means they're not able to identify the value, which means that they don't see a reason to subscribe. So when it comes to increasing your audience retention, you need to use your own stats for this. So what you need to do is, 1, be mindful of things like intros. So it's real common on YouTube, and I even use it in my content sometimes. I used to use it all the time, but now I'm slowly fading it out over time. But basically what you want to do is you want to keep things in mind like intros. You want to keep things in mind like, how focused am I on the topic at hand of when people are coming into the content? So if you're doing entertainment content, like how often are you leading up to like the big promise that you made in your thumbnail? Are you delivering on that right when they click, or are you teasing them right when they click and then you're later delivering on it? Or like, what's the structure of your video in that situation? But you want to look at things like that in your retention, and you want to start messing around. So you want to be like, okay, well, right now when my videos start, I don't have a hook. I just come in straight with my video and I just start talking about whatever it is, my vlog or whatever it is that I'm doing for that day. In your case, you're doing like pets. So like, right when the thing starts, I've got like my exotic pet on screen, and I have my exotic pet on screen, and I'm talking about things that I'm going to be talking about in the video with this exotic pet. So if people aren't responding to that, then try, okay, we're not starting with an exotic pet. For a next handful of videos, I'm going to start with me on screen, and I'm going to see if that minimizes that drop when people first start coming into the video. And when they first start coming into the video, in that situation, then I'm going to make sure that I'm trying to grab their attention by telling them what's going to be happening in the video. If that doesn't work, then go try something else, to where maybe there's something that you're doing in the video that would be of interest to those people when they first come in, to where you can tease and lead up to it. So it would be like a teaser. When your clip first starts, you have this little quick buildup that happens, and then right before the thing gets finalized, so to speak, then in that situation, that's when you stop it, and then you're like, okay, so today we're going to be doing, we're going to be, I'm going to be showing you this exotic bird or whatever it happens to be. But basically what you need to do is you need to experiment with the structure of your content. You need to experiment with all the different elements in your content as well. How are you starting your videos? How are you using an intro or not? If you are, try taking it out. See if that gets people through farther. A lot of content creators, when they first start, they'll have a video at the very beginning of their video. They'll have an intro at the very beginning of their video before people even get content. You do not want to do that sort of thing. But what you want to do is you just want to experiment with your structure. You want to experiment with the elements of your video. And by structure, I mean you're hooking people, you're not hooking people. You are starting the content right away. You're starting the content delayed. You are showing a teaser, you're showing a hook, you're showing an intro, you are showing things that are going to be happening in the video, you're featuring the animal, you're featuring you, you are featuring like a little sequence that actually builds up to their introduction to the animal, like that kind of thing. You just start messing with the structure so that you can find that formula of, hey, the people that are clicking on this, this is what it is that they are, that they're responding to. Okay. So hopefully that helped. Okay. Next up on our list, I need a button for that. I need a next up on the next up. That's what I need. Or next question. Yeah. So I can trigger that. That'd be fun. Okay, so next up here, we've got Citylicious Gaming. Citylicious Gaming says they've been on YouTube for 1 year or more. They do gaming and thinking about changing to music. Careful. And the goal of the channel is to give entertainment to other people at the same time to YouTubers. And the question is, hey, Nick, I've been waiting for you to live stream to ask you why other YouTubers have more subscribers than my channel, even though their content is not as good. Not judging is fact, but it is true. I tried to compare my channel to other YouTubers that are still starting. I also have a friend that has a YouTube channel, but even though they are not editing their thumbnails and adding appropriate tags, they still get more viewers than me. This kind of situation is angering me. So, okay, when it comes to your next question soundbite could also auto-create timestamps. That would be cool. That would be really cool, actually. So basically when it comes to comparing yourself to other content creators, people resonate with different people in different ways. They resonate with different content in different ways. How YouTube treats channels comes down to how people are resonating across all of these different metrics. So because of that, it's really important to look at what it is that you are doing and stay in your own lane, use your own stats to make the decisions of what it is that you're doing in your channel. Now, with that said, it is important to be mindful of what's happening in your space because you can start noticing things. Like, for example, on my channel, I did a, mistakes YouTubers make video a long time ago. And that video crushed. Like, people loved that video. It got lots of views. And at the time that I'm aware of, it was the only video in our space on YouTuber mistakes, like mistakes YouTubers make type of stuff. After that video actually was standalone for quite some time. And then other people started making those videos and they actually started doing really well on other channels as well. And then the entire space noticed, hey, when we talk about mistakes, people really respond to that particular thing. And then people started doing it a lot. So everybody was able to win off of that one discovery. So what you want to do is you want to be mindful of what's happening in your space. And I do that same thing. I look at everybody in my space. I'm like, what are they doing? What's working? What's not, right? And what you want to do in your space is you want to say, okay, this is the stuff people are putting out that people are responding to. This is the stuff people are not responding to. But at the core of it is my content and how people are responding to my content. The only thing that I can do is when I'm looking at other people is I can look at, like how are they packaging their content? How are they putting the content together in terms of like the editing? Like what kind of value are they delivering? That sort of thing. That's the only thing you can look at other channels. What you don't know when you're looking at other channels is you don't know where they're getting their traffic from. You don't know if YouTube is promoting their content. You don't know if they're getting their traffic from Twitter. You don't know if they're running ads on their content. You don't know if they have an Instagram account that's driving traffic to them. You don't know if they have TikTok and they're doing great on TikTok and they're having some overflow from what's happening on TikTok. You don't know any of that stuff. So because of it, you can drive yourself absolutely bonkers. Bonkers, that's a good one. Bonkers or crazy. You can drive yourself absolutely bonkers or crazy by focusing on what everybody else is doing and not paying attention to what it is that you're doing, because then you're constantly in that comparison thing to where you're like, why are they doing great and I'm not doing great? But they might be doing great because they're getting traffic from elsewhere. They might be doing great because they're better, right? It might be that too. They might be doing great because they're better. And what you need to do in that situation is you need to say, okay, if people are responding to them, but they're not responding to me, why do I think that is? Because if we're trying to reach the same people, why do I think people are responding to them and not me? And is there any adjustments that I can make with what it is that I'm doing that will get people to respond to me in a better way? And if the answer is yes, then you have to make that decision on, okay, am I going to make that adjustment in how I'm communicating in my content in order to get people to respond better? And then if the answer is yes, then you have to go down that road. If the answer is no, then in that situation, you're like, hey, I'm just going to do me and then I'm just going to do me, and I'm going to get the results that I'm going to get, and I'm just going to focus on what's happening on my channel. I'm going to stay in my lane, and I'm going to do my thing and focus on my stats, and I'm going to try to be the innovator. I'm not going to try to just stay focused on what other people are doing and try to ride that. I'm going to be the innovator and try to come out with new stuff that other people aren't doing, and I'm going to stand out by doing that sort of thing. So, like, there's a lot of different approaches that you can take in this situation, but at the core of it, don't focus on paying attention, or don't focus all of your efforts on comparing yourself to other content creators. It's important to know what's going on, but you don't want to obsess over, hey, this person's taken off, I'm not. That means I suck. That's not the case. Just for whatever reason, people are responding over there. It's not because you suck. It's just that people are responding here, or maybe they're getting traffic from somewhere else that you're not aware of, compared to people are not responding to you. So what you need to do is you need to level up your skill set so that you can get people to respond to what it is that you're doing as much or more than how they're responding to the other people as well. And that can also come down to just the content decisions that you're making too. Like the other channels that you're talking about, if you just go to their channel page and you sort by most popular, if you go to their video page and you sort by most popular, you might just notice, hey, they just have one video that's doing really well. And because of that, there's all kinds of overflow that's happening on the channel. You might find that every video that they put out is doing better than yours. And because of that, that means that they're getting just a better response overall. So, you need to look at all of those things when you are doing those comparisons, if you're going to be comparing, and make sure that you're comparing the right things and that you're looking at all the right information instead of just thinking that they're doing better and you're not. Try to figure out, why, but really at the end of it, just stay in your own lane. The best thing that you can do on YouTube is innovate. Because when you innovate, then what you're doing is you're creating a way for you to stand out through the content that you're making and what it is that you're doing. The best thing you can possibly do is innovate so that you can stand out from everybody else.
Super Chat.
App Aesthetics, welcome. Oh, no, you didn't become a channel member. Thank you for the super chat. That's what I meant, for the super sticker. Thank you for that. I appreciate it. All right. Let's see here. Next up on the list, we have Carter McCullough, and they have a gaming channel. The goal is to have fun. What are some good ways to edit on my phone because I don't have a PC? We did that one already. You want to make sure that you're using Video Leap if you are on an iPhone. You want to make sure that you are using KineMaster or VLLO if you are on an Android. Nael Knows Tech. They upload 1 time per week or more. They've been on YouTube for 6 months, less than. The goal is to help people while buying tech. Says, hey, Nick, you always talk about helping people grow their channel, but the ways that you say apply mainly to people that already have 1,000 subscribers. What about people that are starting from scratch? Okay. So I have no idea where you got the idea that the stuff that I say mainly applies to people that have 1,000 subscribers. You literally made that up. Like your own interpretation of what it is that I do on the channel, you literally made that up, right? So the stuff that I share on my channel, it applies to people of all different sizes. If you're just getting started, the information applies to you. If you have 1 million subscribers, the information applies to you. It doesn't, like, if you're just getting started, or if you have 0 subscribers, the information applies. If you have 1 million subscribers, the information still applies. A little bit less nuance with 1 million than with 0, but the same information still applies. At the core, you got to get people to click. You got to get people to watch, right? It's just all the stuff that goes into getting that stuff to happen. That is the difference. But basically, all the information that I share on my channel applies to you if you have 0 subscribers, or 1 million, or everything in between, right? So just keep that in mind. You just completely made that up as a reason. Here's my opinion on what just happened with this question. So you just made up that the stuff that I share on my channel applies to people that already have 1,000 subscribers. You made that up because you're looking for a reason to make it seem like the things that I say don't apply to you, so that you don't have to apply them on your YouTube channel. That's my opinion of what just happened. Is you are taking the snowflake approach to all of this stuff and saying, well, this is like everything he says, it's great, but it doesn't apply to me, right? Because I'm a snowflake. But in reality, it applies to you, and it applies to you because you are uploading videos to YouTube. If you're uploading videos to YouTube, the same rules apply to everybody. Everybody that uploads videos to YouTube, the same rules apply. Pardon the rant, couldn't help myself. But basically what happened there was like, it just got, So So, yeah, had to, okay. Anyway, Toxic Storm says that they do Minecraft. The goal of the channel is to get monetized. I have 23,000 impressions and my CTR is 9%. Is that good? It's okay. At 23,000 impressions, if you're pushing 9% at like 100,000 impressions, then that's definitely much better. But here's the thing, like when it comes to impressions, it's going to be different. And that's funny because Cabin Life with Glenn and Marine just asked the same exact thing. So basically, like when you're looking at your click-through rate versus the impressions on your channel, what you want to look at is you want to go and you want to go through your analytics, go find all your videos that performed well, and go and look and see like the impressions, because they'll show you like that first day how many impressions that you had and your click-through rate and all of that, and you're going to be able to identify in your own personal YouTube channel like what good looks like. I like when I'm working with clients, like I have an entire spreadsheets that I have that are basically all of these different identifiers that I manually fill out because I can't just get it from exporting YouTube data, but they're all of these little identifiers that I fill out so that I can start identifying, hey, after 24 hours, typically a video that has these particular results on it after 24 hours is a winner. So if it doesn't hit those marks, then we need to quickly go in and start identifying why. And by being able to chart out those identifiers of what a performing video looks like, then you can see where the holes are. So you can be like, okay, well, this one, you know, all the other identifiers are hitting the mark, but this one, the thumbnail is way lower than it should be. So we update the thumbnail, maybe update the title, and then you know, that video will do better if that is the particular thing. If we make a good decision, if the good decision isn't made and it actually takes it a step in the other direction, that happens too. But in that situation, we know those things on a channel that are typically positive metrics for a video performing well, and because of that, we'll be able to quickly identify, hey, this video is going in the right trajectory to perform well over time, or it's not. So you need to do that with your channel, and by charting that stuff out and literally keeping track. Google Sheets is free, right? For everybody here, Google Sheets is free. You can literally click on your stats and you can export right out of analytics. You can export directly into Google Sheets and you can start organizing all this stuff and then start making manual columns. So you can go in and you can start charting all this stuff yourself so that you can start putting all this stuff together. At the very least, go in if you have a question, like I have 23,000 impressions and my CTR is 9%, is this good? If you have a question like that, make a spreadsheet. And then go in and say, okay, all these videos on the first day had this, all these videos after a week had this, all these videos after 3 months or 90 days, they had this. So what does good look like on my YouTube channel? Impressions compared to my click-through rate and compared to the views that I get, the engagement that I get, all that stuff. Like what does it all look like, right? So that you can start identifying what good looks like on your channel. And a reason that's important to do, just so I can go ahead and finish this thought, a reason that's important to do is because what you don't want is like, if you have a friend that has a music channel and you have an entertainment channel, what they identify as good might not necessarily be what's good for your channel. If you have a gaming channel and your friend has a vlog channel, then what they have as a click-through rate or what I have as a good click-through rate on my channel might not be a good click-through rate on your channel, for example. And another thing to keep in mind for all those that are interested in the click-through rate and what's good, on YouTube, the average, they say, is between 2 and 10% across the platform. What they don't tell us is they don't tell us how many impressions for that 2 and 10%, right? So some things that you want to make sure that you're keeping in mind is you want to make sure that when you are looking into your stats and you're trying to figure out what your click-through rate is, don't only look at that funnel, because that funnel is averaging your click-through rate across all the different traffic sources. So what you want to do is you want to go and you want to look, and when you're charting the stuff out in a spreadsheet, this is some of the manual stuff that you have to add in. But what you want to do is you want to go and you want to look and you want to say, okay, in browse features, this is the type of click-through rate I'm getting here. Click on browse and then go in and say, okay, on home pages, this is what I'm getting. On my subscription feed, this is what I'm getting. And what that's going to tell you right there is that's going to tell you in the subscription feed compared to other videos on your channel, how well are the people that are subscribed to your YouTube channel responding to this, right? Not just strangers that are getting your content on your homepage, but the people that are already subscribed to your channel, how are they responding to this compared to other videos on your channel? And that's going to start giving you some insights there as well. But you can also track like your suggested views. You can check your external views. You can't check your click-through rate on external though. But you're going to be able to take your traffic sources and you're going to be able to chart that stuff out so that you can start identifying for the specific traffic sources that you're trying to tap into, what's a good impression versus click-through rate on all the individual traffic sources, so you can know if you're succeeding there or not too. And if you're targeting search for any of your content, if you have a search-based channel and you're targeting search, This is super important because in that situation, what you're doing is you're able to see from search. This is my click-through rate on search. When people are actively looking for my video that I made for this search term, this is how people are responding in search as a whole. So then you can make any adjustments needed there as well based on what is good on your channel.
Super Chat.
GBU Professor Wally says, love your channel, attitude, style, and consistency. Thank you. Thanks for the kind words. I appreciate that. Those things always make me feel awesome, so thank you. My YouTube channel goal is not views, monetization, subs, or live streaming. Rather, it's to increase interest in non-YouTube site, drive sales, and get customers tips. Yes. So I'm going to give you some tips on that. Let me hit this one really quick before it disappears.
Super Chat.
Spider DLH says, not sure if you noticed me. I'm sorry for bothering you. Never bother. Says, I'm just looking to see what I'm doing wrong on my videos. Any chance to check out my videos after? So I'm not looking at videos or channels today. And the reason for that is because one, people tend to leave the stream when I start looking at channels, so I don't do that a lot anymore. But also, like after the stream, I don't do that just because doing that on a one-on-one basis takes away from me being able to make content that helps everybody at scale. So because of that, I'm not doing that right now either. Typically, I would offer that as a service, but I don't right now. But I can tell you that Roberto Blake's in the chat right now. He offers that as a service, and he also has something called the Awesome Creator Academy, to where he basically has a group of people that that basically pay for his membership every month, and it's like a coaching program that he takes people through. So if you're looking for feedback like that, then I recommend that you go check out his Awesome Creator Academy. So on your driving sales, if that's what you're trying to do from your YouTube channel, a few things to keep in mind. If you're trying to drive people to something off YouTube, first is to make sure that you are balancing the off-site traffic with the on-site traffic. And what I mean by that is, what I would do in your situation is I would actually make videos that are made for the purpose of driving people off-site, and I would make videos that are made for the purpose of keeping people on-site. And the reason for that is because even though you're not interested in growing your YouTube channel, you're more focused on driving people off-site, you still want to grow your YouTube channel. And the reason that you want to grow your YouTube channel is because as you grow your YouTube channel, it's going to give you the opportunity to get in front of even more people that you're going to be able to drive off site to your stuff, right? So because of that, you want to make sure that you're doing all of those things, that you're growing the channel and that you're driving people off site. But the reason that you want to balance it out is because when you're driving people off site and you are sending people off platform, then your videos can still crush. Like, you can still get millions of views on a video, even if you're driving people off site, but you're working against yourself, because what YouTube ultimately wants is they want people to stay on site and watch more videos. So the videos that you make for growing your channel so that you can get in front of more people, those videos are made to where you're literally trying to have people watch another video. That other video that they watch could be one of your money videos that you make for the purpose of driving people off platform. Okay. So as part of your content strategy, start thinking, okay, when I'm putting this stuff together, this video is going to be made for growing the channel, but I'm going to be linking to, either in my description, pinned comment, end card, or card, I'm going to be linking to one of my offsite videos or just another video that they're going to enjoy, so that YouTube will keep putting my videos in front of them, which will keep bringing them back in, which will keep them keep exposing them to me. And the reason that that's important, as you know, is because, you know, part of selling anything is the know, like, and trust factor. So the more you keep people coming back to your channel, the easier it's going to be for people to buy stuff from you, because they already know that, you know, they know you from watching your video content. So you want to make sure that you're doing that. But you also want to think about things like making it easy for people to know that you have that stuff. One of the things that I do, so I have a website called tubertools.com. I have a front end store, and I have a membership side with it too, but that is pretty much all just random organic traffic. I used to promote it like back in the days when I was trying to go full time, but now, like, I don't even mention that site hardly ever, except in like live streams every now and then, but I do have it in my descriptions. And I also mention in some videos, I'm Nick from tubertools.com. Welcome to another video. And what happens when I do that is I'll see little spikes, bam, 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 little spikes from people going and checking out tubertools.com, because I made that quick, non-intrusive mention of that website. So if I go a little bit deeper on it, and I'll say, you know, like, I might say something like, you know, to Nick from tubertools.com, where you can find all the graphics and things like that you need from your YouTube channel, whatever. But like, if I do that, then it'll go up even higher. But the thing that I'm doing in that situation though, is I'm potentially hurting the performance of my video. But if I just do it quickly and subtly, hey, I'm Nick from tubertools.com, then what I'm doing in that situation is I'm just letting people know that it's there. So I'm spreading awareness. Now at the end of your video, that's where you want people to leave. If you are going to drive them off site, you don't want it to happen in the beginning of your video. You want it to ultimately happen at the end. So if you introduce yourself and you're like, hey, I'm GBU Professor Wally from GBUProfessorWally.com or whatever it is you're driving traffic to, then in that situation, what you want to do is you want to do that briefly in the beginning, and then actually close them out and actually going there. So, hey, to learn more about this, I actually put together this whole thing that you can check out over at GBUProfessorWally.com. I got a link to that down in the description. You can head over there now if you would like, because this video is over. And then you would drive them off that way. Now, you also want to make sure that you have a link in your channel header on YouTube, because they allow you to do that. Go into your website, put a call to action on there, make sure you check the link and actually click on it, make sure it works. 2, you also want to make sure that you have that link in every one of your video descriptions as well. I also recommend, if you're not using video graphics, that you also have a lower third that pops up on your video from time to time. Just like once per video is fine, but it basically like a, learn more at, GBUProfessorWally.com, or whatever type of content it is that you're making on your channel. Basically, whatever it is that your viewers are trying to know, that's what would be your call to action in that. So it'd be, halfway through your video, more towards the end, it would just be like a little graphic that pops up, hey, check out this website, blah, blah, blah. But you would want to make sure that you have the viewer value of what it is that they're actually going to get from the website as the call to action to get them to go off. So those are some things that I would start with in your situation. Also, if you've already crossed the monetization threshold, you can link directly to your website. So if you have crossed that 1,000 subscribers, 4,000 hours of watch time, then in that situation, you can literally put a banner ad, a little square banner on your end screen as well. And you can have like a end screen designed, if you don't have it already, to where you have like watch another video, subscribe to the channel, and check out our website. Now, one thing that's a really good approach with any type of sales is focusing people on one thing. So if you do decide to take the approach of, I'm going to have a money video and I'm going to have the content that's going to keep people on platform, the content that keeps people on platform, then in that one, your end screen would be to drive people to another video. And the only options you would have there would be driving people to another video. But the money videos, the only option that you would have on that one would maybe be another video. And then that one would have a link to the website as well, to where it's like, hey, like the end screen pops up, you have the elements on screen where they can go. At that point, you tell people, hey, to learn more, head over to ProfessorGWally.com. I got tons of stuff over there that you're going to love. Make sure that you check it out. But if you're already familiar with that, then click into this video and watch this one next. Right, so then you can kind of divide the people that way that have already been that are already familiar with the website. So hopefully that helps. Now, another thing to keep in mind, if you're trying to generate revenue, I did this with a client once, and I'm not like he already had a lot of knowledge on like Facebook ads and things like that. I'm not well versed on Facebook ads, but one of the things that we did with him is that we made sure that in his situation, he sells barbecue like rubs and stuff like that. But one of the things that we did in his situation is we made sure that his website, that he had the Facebook pixel on there so that he could also remarket to people that were hitting his opt-in. So basically he was driving people from his YouTube channel. He's using his YouTube channel as the catch-all, bring people in that are interested in that topic. He was using all of his stuff in the videos, and then he would say, oh yeah, this, I actually have this on my website, blah, blah, check it out here. They would go to the website for the opt-in for, actually they had the one version where they would go straight to a store, which he also had the pixel in, but then he had another version where he put together like a guide for him on like making, good barbecues or whatever. And in that opt-in, he also put that, the pixel for Facebook so that he could remarket to them later. And then he started spending a lot of money on those ads as well. So there's a few different approaches that you can take for this, but I would recommend taking all of that information, rewatch this a couple times and take all of that information and put it together so that you can hopefully, achieve whatever it is that you're trying to do with your goals of driving sales and, and getting customers and all that good stuff. But at the very core of it though, balance out what it is that you're doing on YouTube versus driving people off so that you can make sure that you're giving YouTube what they want as well. Because when you give YouTube what they want, then it just pours in terms of being able to send drive sales to whatever it is that you're trying to bring attention to and things like that. So you definitely want to make sure that you have that balance going on. So there were a couple super chats that came in, some other stuff, so I will catch up on those right here in a second. I'm going to pull this one here really quick from Rini saying, hey, when would be a good time to start affiliate marketing? I have a small beauty channel and I feel that I would benefit from it, but the last thing I want is for my audience to get the wrong impression. Okay, right away. if you're trying to generate money from your YouTube channel, which I think every content creator should do, then you should start doing that right away, in my opinion. So what you want to do is you want to make it available, but don't cram it down their throat. If you cram it down their throat, then some people are going to start getting weird. However, they're getting weird over free content that you're giving them. So, you got to balance that out too. But basically, when you are doing affiliate marketing, just make it available. You don't necessarily have to cram it down their throat, but make it available. You can even do fun stuff if you want. You can even do like, this video is brought to you by, and then actually have that, thing that you're promoting as an affiliate, and then actually drop the affiliate link as the way for them to go to, get whatever it is that you're wanting them to buy. But when you do that, if you are going to do like the bumper approach, because there's some channels that I watch that do that, and they do it in an excellent way. But when you're taking that approach, make sure that you reach out to the brand first, make sure that they're cool with you doing it that way. But if you're bringing attention to their stuff, most of them are going to be cool, but every now and then you'll get a weird one. It's like, no, we don't want you doing that. So just make sure that you're, following by their affiliate terms when you're doing that. But I recommend that you start right away. And the reason for that is because microphones cost money, cameras cost money, lights cost money, all the beauty stuff that you use to make your videos costs money. The internet that you use to upload your videos to YouTube costs money. If you decide to go to conferences in the future, that costs money. If you decide to buy any courses, or if you use like TubeBuddy comes with a monthly fee. You got to pay for that somehow. So, just using your YouTube channel and the income that you're generating from your YouTube channel through ads and or affiliate marketing is a very smart move. And I think that you should, without question, get into it as soon as you possibly can. Because here's what you don't want. You don't want to create an entire video library. And for GBU Professional Wally, this is for you too. You don't want to create an entire video library that is not doing anything for you besides just growing the channel. You want to have in all of your videos, at least in the video description, you want to have somewhere to where somebody can go and become a part of what it is that you're doing. Either it's an email opt-in, or if it's an affiliate sale or something like that. You want to always have something available, a next step that people can take to participate in other things that you're doing. Because what you're going to do is, over time, you're going to create this entire massive video library. And the more of these videos that you have that are working to your benefit, the better content you're going to be able to create for the people that are watching your stuff, the better experience you're going to be able to give them through all the gear you're going to be able to buy, the better the better you're going to be able to present your information through the different, or get people to respond to what it is that you're doing that will help your channel grow, to be able to reach even more people through the different conferences you might go through, or through the different courses you might take, or the different tools you might use, or whatever happens to be. So because of that, I think that from video one, like on my channel, the channel that you're watching right now, in this channel, my very first video, I had an opt-in, right? I had an opt-in because when I first came onto YouTube, the reason that I started my YouTube channel, this channel, was because I was looking around the internet about internet marketing. And one of the things that people were talking about is how effective YouTube was at driving people to an email list. So I'm like, okay, well, I don't really want to be that person on camera, but I'll do it just to see if I can, see if I can get an email list going. And because of that, my very first video was an email opt-in, and that video still drives email opt-ins to this day. And I'm like 400 and something videos later. So, the sooner you get that ball rolling, then as your channel grows, the sooner that you're going to be able to take full advantage from, one of the major opportunities on YouTube, which is generating an income or multiple streams of income from all of the different stuff that you are, all the different stuff that you're doing. Hopefully that answered your question. Another long-winded one, but I tend to do that from time to time. So I hope that's okay. So let me refresh the page over here. Mama Z's Texas Kitchen. What's going on? Nice to see you here. Chef Jelly saying, hey all, nice to see you here as well. Let me scroll down here. All right. So let me refresh this page here really quick, and then I'm going to hop back into the forum, answer some more questions. And if anybody has any additional questions on what I just said, feel free to drop them in the chat and I'll answer them like right now. Let's see here. So the other super chat that I had was from Hoosier Back Outdoors, says always useful information. Thank you so much, Nick. My pleasure. Glad that you're enjoying the content. Spider DLH says not sure. Okay, yeah, we got that one already. Okay, yeah, good. So we are caught up there. And I think, hold on really quick. Okay, so App Aesthetics, welcome to the channel membership as well.
Welcome to the Nimminati.
Yeah. Yeah, woo, welcome to Nimminati. Woo. All right. Tomorrow.
Super chat.
Thank you for the super sticker there. I'm still calling it a super chat, but thank you for the super sticker there. as well. So Ginger Lola Dollhouse Design says, hey Nick, how long should I leave a video up before making thumbnail and title changes? A week, a month? Should I reshare it after changes? Facebook, YouTube, post and stories, etc. So of course you want to bring awareness that you have a new video uploaded, but you don't want to necessarily use those other platforms to, let's see here. Will my comment be answered? I put it in at the very beginning. I'm just going through them in the order that they came in. So you might be up here within the next like few questions. I'm not sure. Right now I'm like 31 in on the question number. So I'm not sure yet, but if it doesn't get answered here, Intermanas, because you're in the Facebook group. So if it doesn't get answered here, then I just drop it in the Facebook group and I'll answer it over there. Let's see here. Pipe Cleaner Crafts, Dollhouse Designs and Decor. I thought Pipe Cleaner Crafts had another question too. Okay, hey Nick, I have an impression that YouTube doesn't promote much videos that I put in my own end screens. Is that so? No, it's not. Like they'll still promote those videos as well. So basically like one way that you can win with that is by putting those videos in your end screen, pinning the comment, and adding them to your description, things like that, where you're kind of trying to create that relationship between content. Is as long as people follow through and they're clicking on that and they're watching those videos from your pinned comments and from your end screens, because you're linking into playlists, series playlist preferred. Like as long as you're effectively handing people off that way, then over time you should create that association between videos, which will get them to at least be to a point to where you suggest your own content to your viewers by themselves. So you become a strong suggested traffic source for yourself, which is great. So that is a win in that situation. But you putting videos in your end screen isn't going to impact how YouTube promotes that content to other people, in terms of like home screens and like things like that. Okay. So as long as people are responding to those as standalones, then YouTube will still treat those the same exact way. All right. Next up on our list, we've got Toxic Storm. One question closer, Intermana. Toxic Storm says that they have, oh no, we did that one already. Okay, so we're going even closer. Next up on the list is from B. Gord. B. Gord Gaming Channel, goal, build a community. What is the best megabytes per second as fast as you can possibly go? I don't know what the best is. Cinco Sky says that I want to make gaming videos exploring games of the past that are underrated and free for everyone to play, so that if someone else wants to revisit, they do not have to pay, just sharing my journey as I try out various games. Says Nick, I've been watching your videos for some time now. I really want to pursue this YouTube channel that I want to make, but I can't stir up enough confidence for me to record myself. Okay, this is a deep question here. Okay. So I'm too afraid to fail again. I've really screwed up a lot of things that I've tried in life, and this is what makes me too afraid to fail again. I'm also too worried on how good I'll be when I put this out. Would really appreciate a word of confidence. Thank you for your content. Okay, so here's the thing. When it comes to growing a YouTube channel, it's possible that you'll fail. But I can tell you this. If you continually try to take the information that you learn from all of the different places that you're consuming information about YouTube, and you take that information and you apply it to your channel and you try to improve with every single video that you make, your channel will grow. Will your channel blow up? I don't know. But if you focus on taking the information that you learn and you apply it, you will grow. You will get some kind of momentum on your channel, and you will be able to move forward with what it is that you're doing on YouTube. When it comes to being afraid because of the fear of failure, of putting in all this effort and it not working out, that is possible, but that is going to be on you. And what I mean by that is it's up to you if you decide to watch Netflix or if you decide to dig into your analytics. It's up to you if you decide to put that extra hour into making that video awesome, or to putting that great thumbnail and title package together, or if you're like, you know what, this is good enough and I just put it up. That's up to you. So it's up to you to decide what effort it is that you're going to put into it and how long you're going to continue to go through that process. So as an example, you know, you can be one of those people that say, hey, I make 10 videos. I'm not getting any traction here. I'm out of here. You could be one of those people. And then if you are one of those people, then you'll end up failing. Or you could be one of those people that are like, okay, I've got 10 videos. Out of these 10 videos, this is how people responded. What do I need to do to make this next video even better? And if you're one of those people, then over time, your channel will do better and you will get results. Now, with all of this stuff, there's nuance to where you'll be able to accelerate what it is that you're doing, and you'll be able to move the needle more based on the different actions that you take and things like that. But at the very core of it, if you're like, okay, these are the people I'm trying to reach, this is what I'm trying to accomplish with the channel, and these are the efforts that I'm putting into it, which is all, but I'm putting all the efforts that I possibly can into making this work through applying all the things that I learn on how to make these things work, then you will get traction on YouTube. But with any risk, failure is always an option, right? Like there's always that option in terms of like if I try anything, it's a possibility that I might fail. So what you need to do is you need to make that choice now of, you know what? I'm not going to look at failure as an option. That's not even on the plate. It's not even on the table. It's not even something that's going to be considered in this situation, because with most things, when people are trying to generate success in anything, in business, in life, in health, in YouTube, whatever it is, the biggest thing that causes people to fail at those things is by stopping doing those things, right? When you stop, then you immediately fail. But a lot of people, they don't know it, but they'll stop right before they actually got that momentum that they were looking for. They'll stop uploading to YouTube right before they made that next video that might have gotten, a lot more of attention or might have actually caused their channel to go. I can tell you, I can't remember the actual name of the video, but I can tell you what I felt. So basically on this channel that you're watching right now, everything started lifting on my channel at this particular one point with this one video. So I published a video. At that particular time, I left here. I published the video. I hit publish, and I had to go pick my girlfriend up from work. So I published the video, and then within the 5 to 8 minutes that it took me to get from my place to her work to pick her up, I pulled out my phone and I checked my stats like we all do after we publish a video. And that was the first video that had like 1,000 views on it by the time I got to her work. And I was like, holy cow, this video just like took off. And from that day forward, all of my videos have done well, right? So if I would have stopped uploading to YouTube before I made that video, then I might have missed out on all of the wonderful experiences that I've had, all of the great people that I've had the opportunity to meet because of my YouTube channel and because of all the events that I've went to and been able to meet and hang out with people like Daniel Patel, who's in the chat right here, Doug Hoosen, who's in the chat here. I've been able to hang out with him. Mike Phillips, I've been able to hang out with him. Let's see here. Who else do we got here? Christina, if she's still in here, I got to hang out with her. Neil, I got to hang out with him. Vigard, I got to hang out with him. Like all of these awesome people that I've had the opportunity to meet because of my YouTube channel. If I would have stopped, Roberto, if he's still in the chat, all these people, if I would have stopped, then that none of that, the amazing stuff that's happened because my YouTube channel would have happened. So the failure side of things really comes down to this, right? If you say now, if you're like, you know what, I'm going to be, because you say here, like, I want to turn this into something. If you say, I'm going to pursue this YouTube channel, and I'm going to turn this YouTube channel into something that is a successful and sustainable YouTube channel, whatever that means to you, then in that situation, commit to it and start handling everything it is that you're doing like you are already at that point. And what I mean by that, and I actually have an entire video about this that I published recently, but what I mean by that is you need to be looking in your stats like like somebody that's doing well on YouTube, they look in their stats from time to time. They dedicate time to looking in their stats and figuring out what's working and what's not, right? People that are doing this stuff seriously, they try to network with other content creators, not in a, hey, let's support each other kind of way, but in a, hey, we're both doing the same exact thing. What can I do to add value to you, right? Like they start taking that type of approach to what it is that they're doing here on YouTube. So Roberto has another great thing here. It says, see reasonable expectations and also clear goals for what success is for you. So set reasonable expectations and define your goals. So for example, one of the things, hey, Heidi, what's up? Nice to see you here. Costume CEO. So one of the things that people will do on YouTube is they'll be like, oh, hey, I want to get big, but they don't even define what big is, right? Is big like 100 subscribers? Is it 1,000 subscribers? Is it 100,000 subscribers? Is it 1 million subscribers? Is it 10 million subscribers? Like, when is enough? What does big actually mean to you on YouTube? Define it. If you're like, hey, I want to be a full-time YouTuber, define what that actually means. What are the costs involved in being a full-time YouTuber? Because you have the whole business side of things that you're going to have to start taking care of as well. So what is the cost of being a full-time YouTuber? What does it take to get you out of your job? And then from there, what is the actual cost of running your YouTube business? And with all of that, how much money do you need to be making every single month or over the course of the year in order to make a full-time being a full-time YouTuber a realistic thing for you? Like, you have to define these things in order to be able to achieve them. I mean, sure, you can get lucky, right? You could get lucky and everything could just kind of work out, and then you're faced with all these problems of, like, how do I manage all this at that time? But if you define what those things look like, they give you clear markers of what you're actually trying to accomplish, so that you can set the right markers for gauging if you're actually heading in the right direction to accomplish those things or not. So mindset is huge, and defining what it is that you're after is also huge.
Super Chat.
S.E. Chilcuddy says, I met you. You put yourself out here and promote events where you interact with people on a productive workshop atmosphere. I was punk hair at Subway. Nice. That's awesome. Even S.E. Chilcuddy here. We got to meet and hang out at Subway, right? So I'm not sure which event. That was. But probably Vid Summit or Social Media Marketing World or Video Marketing World or where else? Maybe VidCon, could have been there as well. But yeah, it's so much stuff, right? So much awesome opportunities here with YouTube in terms of just people. Jack LeBlanc, we see you. But in terms of, just the amazing people that you can meet and all the different opportunities here, it's just insane. Absolutely insane. Okay. So next up on our list, we've got PDG Gaming. PDG Gaming says their goal is to entertain people. And the question is, I'm not getting as many views as I would like on my gaming videos. Should I change the game or keep making the same content? Look in your stats. Try to figure out why you're not getting the views that you are after.
Super Chat.
Andrew Can saying this is a reminder to drink water. Thank you, Andrew. Andrew always looking out. He's another one of the awesome people I've gotten to meet because of this YouTube stuff. Kevin Carr, Car Galaxy Studios. All right. So
Super Chat.
Coach Jones Learning says, you are my YouTube Yoda. Your YouTube Yoda, I am. Says, very encouraging. Keep up the good work. Glad that you're enjoying the content, and good luck with your YouTube channel. Hope that it all works out for you. Pay attention to all of your stats, because they will pave the road for you. All right. So let's see here. Next up on our list, we've got Jen Kokaska Yoga. I hope I'm saying your name right. If not, I apologize. Says the goal of the channel is to serve our current and prospective students and earn a sustainable income. The question is, what are effective ways to drive Facebook page followers to become YouTube subscribers? We currently have a Facebook page with 700 followers, but finding minimal engagement from posts related. Okay, so this is like a common theme. Everybody has this problem. Oh, it was Vid Summit. Oh, okay. Got it. Okay, got it now. Awesome. Yeah, nice. So the big problem that a lot of content creators have, S.E. Calcutti saying that it was Vid Summit. Okay, nice. I love Vid Summit. I really hope to. I really hope that everything is like under control for so that we can have Vid Summit again this year too. So looking forward to Vid Summit. By the way, anybody that's not familiar with Vid Summit, the replays are down in the description below. I always link to those replays just because there's so much amazing information shared at Vid Summit. And Vid Summit by itself, like if you do get the opportunity to go to Vid Summit, it is just incredible. Like the vibe there is great. The information that you learn, the networking that you do, all the way around is just absolutely incredible. But in terms of answering your question about Facebook, so the idea is getting people from Facebook to YouTube. So the big problem is that people on Facebook are wanting to be on Facebook, and the people that are on Facebook are not wanting to be on YouTube. If they were wanting to be on YouTube, they would be over on YouTube. So getting people to cross over is really difficult, regardless of the type of content that you make. If you had a huge amount of people over there, then in that situation, you would be able to drip more people over there, and it would seem like a lot more people were going over there because of the volume. But because you have 700 people, I would just focus your efforts on YouTube and not even worry about trying to get all 700 people to go over there. You'll be able to make that up a lot faster by focusing your efforts on YouTube. But what you can do is just simply let people know that your channel is available. So you spread awareness about your channel, let people know that you do have it. Maybe you post some videos there from time to time. Do not post the direct link inside of Facebook to where it would show the preview, you want to make sure that you are posting an image with a link that would get people to leave Facebook and go to YouTube. Do not embed your video there. If you embed your video there, they're going to be able to watch it and they don't have a reason to leave. If you have your link there, then they're forced to go to YouTube to actually watch it, but then you have the thing of how many people are actually going to click it and go actually watch it over on YouTube. So because of that, you are faced with a real problem that a lot of people have. And because of that, you'll got to make sure that you are just focusing on the audience where they actually are. Give your people on Facebook what they want on Facebook. Give your people on YouTube what they want on YouTube. Andrew Can saying Nick is so close to 600,000. Congrats. Man, it's been since everybody went inside. Yeah, it's been a great month that kind of accelerated that whole thing. So thank you, Andrew. I appreciate that, man. I appreciate it a lot. So thank you for that. Yeah, I'm at like 597, it looks like now. Ooh, getting close. It's crazy. Absolutely crazy. Okay, so next question that we have on the list is from Alex DTD. Alex says that my goal is to entertain and I want to learn how to make theory videos like Vocal Pineapple because I really love anime. Says, hey, Nick, I'm wondering how to record without lag. I'm running on an Atom X5 processor, Intel HD graphics, and I can't find a good screen recorder without lag. I'm wondering how to record an edit without lag and how to make slides, how videos, and all that. Okay, so this is like an entire big question. So in terms of on the processor thing that you're working with, I can't help you there. I'm not like a computer buff. That's not my area of expertise in any way, shape, or form. I think Roberto might be able to help you with that one. That's not my area of expertise. In terms of the recording without lag and that sort of thing, so I can't even help you with that one. But one thing that I can help you with is like when it comes to making slides and things like that, you can do free animation stuff inside of like Google Slides. You can do animations that you can export out of Keynote as well, which everybody can use Keynote for free. You just have to create an iCloud account for it. So you can do that kind of stuff. You can also use services like Placeit, for example, which I have a thing for them here so you know where to actually find them. But the link is in the description for them. But like Placeit, you can actually use like their intros that they have for YouTubers. You can use those as actual slides in your videos if you wanted to. So you could put together, put some text on there, have some video stuff going on in the background or some images that they'll have moving around for you. And you can actually use those as slides in your videos too. And you can actually even use that on a mobile device as well. So even if you're doing this stuff on your phone, then you'll be able to use it through Placeit as well. Okay. So next question that we have on our list, and all the questions, just as a heads up, I'm pulling these from the form that are down in the description below this video, just as a heads up. And this is also, if you may have noticed that I'm doing the subscriber Q&A thing, where I'm putting out some videos that I'm answering questions directly out of the comments. Some of those questions are going to be coming from these forums as well, because through these streams, a lot of questions will come in. Sometimes, a lot of them will get answered. Sometimes I won't be able to answer as many. So because of that, I'm going to be making some of those videos from the questions that come in on these forums as well. So for those of you that are like, hey, I'd love to get a shout out, that is a quick opportunity for me to actually like mention you in a video, but you got to ask a really good question so that I can answer it in a video in order for it to show up in a video. So just as a heads up there. So Deo says, hey Nick, can we have a behind the scenes look at what your screen looks like? Yeah. So let's see here. So I'll show you that real quick and then I'll get into this next question. So the second screen here, this screen right here, this is where I answer the YouTube questions. So this is the form that I actually pulled the questions from. So you can see right here, we've got 132 questions in here right now. And let me see if I can show my main screen. Nope, that's the D screen. Nope, not that, not that, not that one. I think I can change the scene on this one. Give me 1 second. Properties. Let's go to, I don't know if it'll do it in real time. Boom. Okay. So here's the second screen. So this screen right here is my live streaming screen. So you can see over here, this is all of the different scenes that I have here for this particular thing. This is where I keep the chat so I can make sure that I'm, staying interactive here. So I can just make sure that I keep like an eye on this as well. But basically like here, this is all of the different scenes that we have. And I pulled this from the studio stream. So basically all the stuff that you see here, this is also what we have in the studio stream as well. That's why you see like Nick Laptop and stuff like that. But like I built some new stuff in here to bring attention to Video Leap and Placeit and to put like different product slideshow. Cause I have a lot of stuff that I've made too. Like I've got my Tuber Tools website. I've got my Pad Planet thing, which by the way, if you're on an iPad, you should definitely install My Pad Planet for sure, because it's awesome. But basically, if you're on an iPad, you should install that. But basically, like all this stuff here is just different scenes. So basically, the scene that I'm showing right now is desktop. So it's showing my screen, which is what you see here. But then within this, you see that there's also like a screen to where like an image, I guess, should technically be showing up here. I'm gonna go into properties and see why it's not. Oh. Yeah, so I'm not sure why that's actually not showing up there, but it's not. So, but anyway, like the display capture here, oh, here it is, bam. So I can take that, oh, kind of moving the whole thing. I guess that's locked. That's why that didn't work. Let me unlock it. Yeah, so I can take this, then I can move it down here. I can move it here, but I'm actually gonna put it in the middle here so that it's there, okay. But basically, like what you can do in here is you can basically, each one of these things is an element on the screen. So like if D was here, then his cam would be up here. In this situation, I've got the display in the background, and I've got me here, you know, on camera as well. But these are basically just different layers in here to where I can just have different things on the screen. And if I switch to another one, then you're not going to be able to see it, right? So I'm not going to be able to show you, but basically each one of these, you can have things like slideshows and things like that, all kinds of really cool stuff going on. I know I'm trapped in here. Help, I'm trapped in Streamlabs. But Streamlabs is free. Somebody asked that, but yeah, Streamlabs is free. You can do all this stuff for free inside of Streamlabs. But you also have things, they have like widgets that you can add and things like that, where you can pull in like subscriber alerts. If somebody subscribes during your stream, it'll pop up. All kinds of really cool stuff inside of Streamlabs that you can do. You know, this would have been more responsible if I actually put it up here. There we go. Now it actually is more like legit, right? This is more like legit of what's actually like what I actually see when I'm streaming. Yeah, so this. So you can also set it up to where there's like a split screen as well. And with that split screen, basically it would give two versions of this. And one of the versions would be what's live, what people are seeing. The other version would be what is actually coming up next. And you would actually trigger it through a transition button that pops up when you put it in the studio mode. But it's extremely capable software that you can use for free, but this is what runs the whole thing. And I have a Stream Deck here as well that can actually trigger all this stuff from the outside, but Streamlabs actually has a mobile app, and in that mobile app, you can also use, it's like a free Stream Deck. So you can have your phone, and you can have it to where your phone, is just your controller. So you can actually tap on the different scenes on your phone, and it'll actually change what is happening here as well. So you don't even have to look at your screen. You could literally have your phone here. Like let's say you're a gamer and you have your, you have your game that you're playing here on your computer, and you don't want to pay much attention to actually clicking on what's going on the screen. You could have your phone like right here. So you're playing the game and you're like, oh yeah, I'm in my game. And then you just reach down and you just tap, whatever different scene you wanted to switch to and things like that. But it's a really capable software. You can do some really, really cool stuff with it. So, so that's the back end of what it is that I'm doing. Hopefully that, answered any questions that you could have possibly had about the back end here. Okay, so the question here that I'm going to be answering from Extinct Insanity is based on the goal of I'm just trying to expand my Premiere and effects skills and to provide entertainment if I can. The question is, yay or nay on makeup? I'm not the best looking and have scars on my face. Does it make a difference using makeup to cover up the scars and blemishes? I'm a guy, that's why. Or I'm a guy, by the way. Okay, so when it comes to using makeup, so just a heads up. So I had some insecurities when I first started my YouTube channel. I thought, I was like, hey, news channels and stuff, they use makeup and things like that. And when I had this video camera that I was using at the time, and it was like really detailed because it had like a good optics on it and stuff. So you could see, like imperfections in my skin and, little red spots here if I shaved and like that kind of stuff. And I put on makeup because I was insecure. I was like, I don't want people seeing all these blemishes. I don't want them to see the human side of me. But the thing that got me over it was, one, it added a lot of time to me actually making videos because I had to put on concealer and foundation so I'd have even skin tones and all that good stuff. But then later I was like, you know what? I'm on YouTube. This is like a human experience. I'm a human being. I have blemishes just like everybody else does. I've got red spots here and there like everybody else. And, like maybe the pores on my nose might be a little bit bigger because I haven't used a Boreas strip in a while or whatever. So I'm just going for it, and I'm not going to wear makeup anymore. So what I recommend that you do, if you need to use makeup as a guy because you're insecure about certain things that you don't want people to see, I want you to consider that people in your normal life see this stuff also. The only thing that you're covering up in that situation is you're doing that so that people won't look at you in a certain way, or so that they won't leave you comments that are negative towards those things. So what I recommend that you do is I would just put in your blocked words list, scar, things like that, so that if people do say those types of things, you don't have to see it, but just put on your suit of mental armor. And what I recommend that you do is just bypass the makeup thing altogether and just be yourself, because YouTube is a platform that allows us to connect to other content creators based on whatever thing it is about that creator that we happen to like. So because of that, people might not even really, they might notice the scar, but it might not even be a thing to them to where it's even something that they care about. So because of that, I would just do you. I would go out there, I put out your content as you and just be you. And the people that respond to it, cool. The people that come in and they're negative about it, just block them on your channel. Don't even worry about it, right? But the people that come in and they, like you as you, just let them like you as you and just do you and put yourself out there. That's my recommendation, based on, me having to overcome that as well. Not the scars, but just, my insecurity of hey, I'm like in my 30s, I'm uploading to YouTube. Like, am I too old for this? I was even covering up like the darker areas under my eyes because I was trying to hide my age and like that kind of stuff. So, just do you, be you, because people will respond to it. When I stopped worrying about all that stuff, people started responding to my content like all the way around, like more. So, be you.
Super
CJ Gaming says, "Hey Nick, how you been? I'm here to learn right now. What's up, CJ Gaming? Nice to see you here. Thank you for the super chat.
Welcome to the Nimminati.
Miad Eats, welcome to the Nimminati. Make sure next time you're on Facebook, you look for the Nimminati VIP Facebook group. Make sure you fill out all the questions on the way in, because I make sure that you're a channel member. So make sure that you check that out when you get the chance next time you're on Facebook." Yeah, I am clipping a bit. Let's see here. It says Daniel Battelle, he's clipping a bit. Yeah, so I'm clipping a bit here, but it doesn't seem to translate onto YouTube. Are you hearing that on YouTube as well? White Noise Studio, and I'm guessing with a white noise is your thing. Maybe you do something with audio. Yeah, if I am clipping a little bit, because I see it here to where I go into the red a little bit, but when I listen back on YouTube, I don't hear it. But if I am clipping, definitely let me know so I can make that adjustment, because I'm being limited in my processor and my Rode Procaster. Like, I'm being limited there, and it should be, kind of leveling me off before it actually clips when it's going through. He's strong, but the top end is compressed. Okay, good. Okay, so next up, I React and Dissect is a reaction channel. The goal of channels, I want to build an audience as per my music taste, especially rap music in the future, by dissecting all the bars and going in depth. Cool, I dig that. The thing is, how do I avoid copyright strikes on my reaction videos? That's the thing. That's the dice that you roll when you make reaction content. So you can always argue fair use, right? But the unfortunate side of fair use is you have to be so confident that it's fair use that you would be willing to lose your channel and or go to court to defend that it's fair use. So there isn't really a way to 100% guarantee that when you put out a video that the person that is that owns the rights to that isn't going to file a copyright claim on your video. So you might not get a strike, you might get a claim, or you might end up getting a strike, because they're two different things. You might end up getting one or the other, but there isn't really a way to guarantee. If you're doing a reaction video on popular music and you're showing music videos and that kind of stuff, there isn't a way to guarantee that you won't have to deal with a strike. Now, you might win if you dispute it, maybe, but you might not also. So you just have to be able to see it as for what it is and say, I'm putting out content based on content that I didn't create. And because of that, there are risks involved. And one of those risks is that I might get a copyright strike or multiple copyright strikes, which would cause me to lose my channel. This is why I always recommend to people that you try to the best of your ability to try to make sure that you are making all original content if you can. Okay, next up on the list is Rhinomox Game Player. Rhinomox Game Player says the goal is to get monetized. How do I get 4,000 public watch hours and 1,000 subscribers? By adding value to people who watch your content. Now, there's little things that you can do as well. So, like, for example, for all of you people here, who's trying to get monetized right now? Like, who's trying to get monetized, and who's trying to Who's trying to like get into the partner program? Could you give me a me? Okay, so we got a few in here. Okay, so basically, okay, yeah, so we've got some in here. So basically, here's what you want to think about. If you have people coming into your videos now, make sure, and I actually have a video, if you look for the thumbnail about a watch time trap, or I might have even put it in the title, but I have several videos about how to get more watch time on your videos, and the idea that I take people through is the watch time trap is what I call it. So what you want to do is, if you are trying to get in the partner program, the amount of people that are subscribing to your channel and the amount of people that are watching more videos is extremely important. You never want to leave the opportunity on the table to get people to watch more of your videos if you're trying to get into the partner program. So make sure, if you're one of those people that just said me, make sure that every single video that you publish, that you link a video in your playlist, your pinned comment, you link to a video or playlist in that pinned comment that is relevant to the video that that person is watching the video on, that you link that playlist so that you are making it easy for people to find more of your content. Now, of course, you're probably already using end screens. If you're not, then make sure that you do. But on your end screens, put one end screen to where you're literally telling people to watch that video next because it's relevant to the video they're watching. Also put a best for viewer there so that YouTube's systems can identify what they think that person's going to watch, or that they would be the most likely to watch. He's always getting me to watch or to try to drink water. Thank you. I just finished the coffee. Now we're starting the water. I'm being handled right now. Oh, I love it. All right. See, what it really is Andrew works for TubeBuddy, and he's trying to get me to show this TubeBuddy mug. That's what's really going on. No, I'm just kidding, Andrew. Okay. So basically, what you want to do is you want to create that watch time trap. And the idea here is that basically, if you're trying to get monetized, you need to make sure that you're making it easy for people to find more of your content. Okay. So you need to make sure that you're using your end screens, that you're pinning comments, and that you're also going through the trouble of making cards for your videos as well, that you're putting them in the last 20% of your video per YouTube's recommendations in the YouTube Creator Academy. But you want to make sure, yeah, it is. MK Me Lab says TubeBuddy placement. Yeah. Yeah, but I know that's not why Andrew's doing it. He does that to me at events too. Like, because we hang out all the time, like at events, and he's always, because I have a tendency to just ramble and talk and like do all that stuff. So he's always like, hey, drink water. So he's definitely on top of me, trying to keep me, well oiled, so to speak. But yeah, what you want to do if you're trying to get into the partner program is you want to make it easy for people to find more of your content. So you want to make sure you're linking it in your end screens, your descriptions, that you're linking it in your pinned comment, that you're verbally telling people in your end screen, go watch this video next. And that you also have a best for viewer there so that YouTube can show what they think that that person is likely to watch. You also want to drive people into playlists as much as humanly possible, because if they go into a playlist, then they're more likely to watch more than one video as well. So when you're putting your content out, you want to think of your content in series, and you want to think, okay, I'm going to put out 3 pieces of content that are all going to be directly related to each other, 5 pieces that are going to be directly related to each other, and it's going to make logical sense for somebody to jump from video to video to video in that situation, and I'm going to facilitate that by making it easy for them to jump from video to video to video in that situation. So make sure you watch my video on generating more watch time, or all the videos that I've watched on generating more watch time, because applying those ideas is going to help you get monetized faster. So make sure that you watch those when you get the chance. Also, make sure that you're mapping your content out too. That thing that I show on the screen, what is it? Hold on, it's got to rotate through this. Sorry, that's not intentional. But basically, that thing that I show on screen all the time, the iPad planner. If you have an iPad, this is why this is cool too, because one of the things that you can do, I'm about to lock myself out. One of the things that you can do on this, and I will open up, I'll open one up here. I've got a bunch of these installed, but basically one of the things that you can do is you can literally like link, trying to get it where it doesn't blur here, but you can like link content together like visually. So like I'm old school, right? Like I'm clearly not a kid. So like for me, I like to write things down a lot. So like when I'm planning content out, I'm literally like I doodle on this, right? So basically like the idea, yeah, it's not shown on screen. Maybe I got the wrong. thing. I'll change it to this side. But basically it's the Pad Planet thing. So basically, like when it comes to like that watch time trap that I'm talking about, like when I'm planning this stuff out, trying to get an angle here. There, it's this thing right here that's on the screen. But basically, like when I'm planning it out, like one of the things that you may or may not be able to see here is I've got like arrows going between the content on the different things, like how basically I'm planning out how I'm going to be linking content together so that I can try to get you as a viewer to watch more than one video that you're going to get value from. So what I do is I try to take you through a process and lead you to the right videos based on the video that you're watching so that you'll end up watching more videos. So as a content creator that's trying to get monetized, you should be doing the same thing with your viewers as well. You should be in there and you should be trying to get them to watch content, thinking through the content. How am I going to link this video to this video? Like literally look at your 30 or 90-day view of all the content that you're going to be putting out and try to think, how can I get people to go from this video to this video? And think when I'm publishing these videos, how can I link these videos together in a way in terms of like, I'm going to publish this video on this day. And after that one, I'm going to publish this video, even though I would have published this one 2 weeks later, I'm actually going to move it up here because it would make more sense for them to watch this video and then this video over here next, right? So little things like that to do. But basically, that's one of the advantages there. But you can do that on a notebook, right? Just get a calendar and just do it on a notebook. But with that thing that I made though, like I made this around how I plan content. So if you are looking for a content planner, definitely check it out.
Welcome to the Nimminati.
Tomorrow Gaming, welcome to the Nimminati. Make sure next time you're on Facebook, you look for the members only Facebook group. You look for Nimminati VIP, and that make sure that you fill out all the information on the way in because that's how I verify that you are a channel member. And when you do that, feel free to participate in the group, ask any questions that you have about YouTube or anything like that. So when it comes to looking at channels, I don't look at channels specifically, but every now and then I will pull them up. Like for example, I gave some tips to, I think 2 people that were in the group. They were asking questions about some things that they were doing. And I gave, some pretty detailed information on things that they need to be mindful of based on the questions that they had. So make sure that you feel free to participate once you head over there as well. Okay, next question that we have on the list, now that we got the watch time trap thing taken care of, is Revelator Alf. Says that the goal of the channel is to grow into a one-stop place for motorcycle news and tech info and build it into a business. So what I would focus on is motorcycle news or tech info, unless the tech info is related to the motorcycle news. So that's one thing that I would recommend first. But in addition to that, the question is, hey Nick, I'm a big fan of yours and your brother's channels. Thank you. We're both glad that you enjoy the content. Says, I passed 3,000 subscribers, high five, fist bump, and starting to entertain some vid sponsors and product placement reviews. My question is, what is the usual practice for quoting discount codes in a video? And is there usually a percent return on each successful code click, or is the best that I can get is just freebies or giveaways from companies? So what you want to do if people are promoting, or if people are reaching out to you as a sponsor, then it's important for you to know what it is that they are wanting. So if they are wanting that click and they're wanting that conversion, the best thing that you can do for them is to attach a discount code to it. Because if you tell people the links in the description, that's one thing, but it might be easier for people on a mobile device to leave your video and just type in the URL than it is for them to click on that thing, go and scroll through your description and then find what it is that you're looking for. But if you incentivize them by adding to your, or by putting a discount code or a promo code, then what you're doing in that situation is, hey, save 15%, like I do with Place It. If you watch my Place It bumpers, then on those I say, save 15% on your Place It account by using the link in the description. So if you click on that link in the description, then by default, it's going to save you 15%. So you want to try to work that out with the people that you're working with so that you can create some incentive for them to actually click on the link, which will help you with tracking. Now, if they don't care about tracking and they don't care about, incentivizing the people to click, or they just don't have the type of thing where a promo code or something like that would be, relevant, then in that situation, then maybe leaning on like a giveaway or something. But even with that, only one person or 5 people or 10 people out of however many people are going to see that video can win. And even with that one, it's only for a limited time. So the best value that you can give to a sponsor is, again, that discount code or just putting that link down there, because then that video can live on indefinitely and the value is always going to be there and people can always click on that promo code in order to be able to do that, or at least for the next 2 months or whatever. But that link is always going to be there, which is important. So because of that, I recommend that you try to get them to do some type of promo code with the link, or at least a discount code that they can use so that they can track it and know that the sale, attribute the sale to you when it comes in.
Welcome to the Nimminati.
Fried Gaming 420, welcome to the channel membership. Same thing for you. Make sure that next time you're on Facebook that you look for the members only Facebook group so that you can participate in there as well. Fried Gaming
Super Chat
says, why can't I make cards on my phone? I'm not sure. I don't know why YouTube limits some of the functionality for mobile content creators, considering that a majority of the viewership on YouTube is mobile, and considering that there's a ton of mobile content creators, and it's just intuitive to do stuff on phones sometimes. So even though like a computer, like you might get it uploading here, but then you happen to be out in the world and then you're like, hey, you know, why don't I just update some of this stuff while I'm, you know, sitting at Starbucks having a coffee, or while I'm waiting on a friend to show up, or whatever it happens to be, to where you can do it on your phone. Makes sense to me, but they don't offer it that way, unfortunately. So some of the things that you can do for some of the features is you can use desktop mode. So if you use Google Chrome, or I think the Puffin browser, it works sometimes. Dee stays more up to date on that than I do, but Dee is my brother. I got a link to him in the description. He just does all mobile content for mobile content creators. But basically with that, with the desktop mode, or by using the Puffin browser, then you're actually doing it as a desktop, and then that enables a little bit more functionality. But you can get like full stats. Like, for example, like on this, if I go in on desktop mode here, then in this situation, I can actually get the same exact stats that I get here. And I also can actually screenshot and like, you know, draw on them to bring attention to what it is that I need and things like that, which is really valuable compared to the desktop. So I actually get more value looking at my stats on the iPad than I do looking at them on my desktop computer. So, so I'm not sure why they don't make it easy to do all this stuff on mobile devices yet. I'm sure they're making gains, right? They're making gains, I should say, but they definitely are, you know, they're definitely lagging in that regard. Okay, so I want to thank everybody for hanging out today.
Super Chat.
Easy Chilcuddy says, can you explain channel membership as a creator? So yeah, so as a creator, basically with channel membership, what it is you offer something for your viewers. So it can be extra content. Like in my case, I do the members only Facebook group, and then I do like a monthly live stream into that group. Sometimes I live stream more. I want to actually live stream more in there. I just haven't started live streaming more into there yet, but I would like to get it to like a 2 times a month or maybe even 3 times a month live stream. But at this point in time, I try to keep it around a month. But basically, what you want to do in that situation as a channel member is you want to basically just give them the opportunity to kind of, you know, contribute to what it is that you're doing in terms of your content to help you keep making that content, but also you want to give something in exchange. So one of the things that I have in mind is like if somebody has a question about what it is that they're doing, you'll see like, you know, like if you go in there for all the new members, at least, like you'll see when you go into my channel membership, into the Facebook group, you know, people are asking questions about, you know, what it is that they're doing, and they're posting milestones and celebrating together and like that kind of thing. So it also creates that kind of like, you know, community aspect of things as well. So depending on what it is that you're doing with your content, you can do something similar to where you create like an off-site thing to where you can kind of gather people together to create that community side of what it is that you're doing. Or you can just offer just original content, you know, like exclusive content to members. So for example, if I wanted to, I could make content, you know, to where I could do, you know, an extra video a month for channel members, to where it would be kind of like a deep dive or, you know, something like that. You know, that's also things that you can do with your content, is you can say, okay, the content that people really enjoy from my channel, what is it? How can I add more value through that content? It could just be an additional piece of content, right? It could just be like an extra thing that everybody else doesn't get. It could just be that. But, you know, channel memberships as a creator are just a great way for, you know, the people that are watching your stuff to give back to what it is that you're doing, but also for you to be able to continue to add additional value to those people as well. So that's what that is. But so what I was saying before that came in is thank you so much, everybody, for hanging out in the live stream today. Like Car Galaxy Studio says, make sure you hit the like button on the way out. Thank you so much for hanging out today. Thank you so much for, you know, watching the stream, participating in the stream, for being a part of this whole thing. And Make sure that you come back next Saturday as well, because next Saturday will probably be a group stream where I'll be inviting other content creators on here as well to share their expertise, their knowledge, their experience, and what it is that is going on here on YouTube, and give their advice for, all the different questions and things like that. So thank you again so much for watching, mods. Thank you for hanging out and holding down the thing here. Roberto, I would love to come on your stream, man. What time is it? Hit me up on. I'll hit you up on Facebook as soon as I turn this off. As long as the time zones work out even pretty close, then yeah, I'll definitely be on there. Definitely. Yeah. So thank everybody for hanging out, and I might be hanging out on Roberto's stream tomorrow as well. So definitely make sure, if you haven't subscribed to Roberto, that you click on his so that you can participate in his stream tomorrow when we do this. And thank you so much for hanging out. Channel members, new and old, I will see you in the Facebook group whenever you get the chance to go over there. So thank you so much for hanging out, and I will see you next time. Oh yeah, that's right. I've got my...
Thanks for watching Nimmin Live, brought to you by TubeBuddy. Remember to follow us on your favorite social media platforms. Have a great week.